Take a look. February 26, 2024. I am at Joel Pearl, and it's time to get in the weeds. That darn Dwayne The Rock Johnson did it again.
I thought he retired.
So did I. And then he just weaseled his way back into the intro. I had plans to play the other one, and then I was like, the thumbnail. We have to do it again.
You didn't have to. I mean, you clicked the button, Joel. Don't act like this is power over you.
Buttons are next to each other. I am powerless to the spacing between the videos, Jeremy.
Do you want to restart this show? And
not at all. No,
hold on. What if we just we'll put the graphic up. There we go. Nobody can see us. It's the graphic.
All right, let's see.
Don't say anything, Joel.
I got this. Hold on. I'm gonna do this.
Okay.
2, 3. Take a look. Damn it, I did it again.
Do you not know what button to click?
I thought I did. I guess, I don't know. I guess maybe the wrong... Did somebody change the name of the video while I was out? Like, what are we doing?
No, I don't think so.
All right. I don't want to do this again.
You're screwing this up, Joel.
Am I?
Yeah, a little bit.
Let's give it one last shot, okay?
All right. Try it one more time.
You want to put up the thing? You put up the...
Yeah. All right. Here we go. All right. There. The title's up. All right. You going to get this correctly, Joel?
All right. I'm going to do it. And 1,
all right.
2, and 1, 2. Take a look.
Who the hell told you tonight was open mic night, bitch?
Yes!
Much better.
Thank you. So no wrestling happened over the weekend. We have a lot of time to kill this week. When we were just talking off the air, we're just like, well, how are we going to kill 2 hours? We're screwed. Nothing's going to happen.
Is that what we were talking about off the air?
Well, that too. Also, what we're going to do for the rest of the week.
Look, we got an interview at 10:15, right? Matt Viviani. At
Matt Viviani is going to join us. He's the IWS Canadian champion. He's facing Bob the Animal Anger at IWS UnFnSanctioned on March the 2nd. That's on Triller Plus. So check that out. Matt is a fantastic human being and a great wrestler, and also he beats everyone's ass at Mario Kart. So we got to talk about that too. Got a hell of a gaming setup too. We're gonna ask a lot of questions about Mr. Prime Minister Viviani at 10:15 Eastern. It's about 10 minutes time, so we got about 10 minutes to talk.
Okay, so there's no point in like jumping into a bunch of wrestling talk for 10 minutes, right? Like there's just not. So let's talk about a
couple of things that I'm like short topics, but we could probably do that throughout the show.
Okay. Well, get the plugs out of the way. Do the plugs, Joel.
Oh, we got to do the plugs. That's right. Go ahead. Leave a thumbs up on the video. Get sign pointing season. So don't forget to point to the sign being Fightful Overbooked. And while you're doing that, go subscribe to the channel because 15,000 can't be wrong. And of course, we're over on the Discord for Fightful Select, hanging out there. We're going to start taking your questions soon enough on that Discord as well. Yeah. What?
Oh, I want to mention something about the Discord. This is like, I'm never active in Discord, but I'm just kind of sort of active on this Discord. So beforehand, obviously we schedule a lot of these guests. They don't just appear randomly unless you're Andrew Zarian and you hack the stream. So we'll try to give everybody a heads up on the Discord of like, hey, we got this person tomorrow or this day or whatever. And if you got questions for everybody, leave it in the Discord. If you ever send in a super chat with a guest, we try to comment. I get yelled at when I ask super chat questions.
Should I say it?
Should we?
Oh no. There was an apology though.
Was there?
Yes, there was.
Oh, I don't know about this.
I'll tell you about it later. There was an apology.
I want to know about this now.
No, I can't talk about it right now.
Why not?
Because it has to do with other conversations we've had on the air. So I don't want to start this now.
Okay. All right. Well, that's good, I guess.
That's great.
I mean, there should be an apology because nobody else covers them.
See you in
like they
Vegas.
do. There should be an apology. They can't. I mean, they can, but like
They gave us a damn morning show. What are we doing?
it helps. It helps if you're if you help us, we help you.
Andrew Zarian wants all the ghosts.
Yeah,
I'll
I
give
want to know. I don't even know it.
Oh god.
I don't even know what this is about. Okay. So Ryan, we do ask super chatted questions. The apology was not as loud as the disrespect because
the phone call I got was very surprising.
the apology didn't come to me, and I was the one who was kind of sort of disrespected. Anyway, if you leave a super chat while people are like on the air and stuff, we try to do our best to ask those questions from the people who are on the air, because we want, we're a live show. We get the guest. If you ask a question through a super chat, we want to make sure that is read and that is asked. Obviously, if we got somebody on and you're trying to leave a super chat, like ask this person about the Vince McMahon allegations, and they have nothing to do with that, probably not going to ask that. So make it a relevant question if you're going to leave super chat money. Anyway, back to the Discord. We're going to start announcing, and I'm making Joel do all this, like who's scheduled to join us. So if they're scheduled to join us, if you're in the Discord, you can leave a question for that person, and that way you can feel part of the show a little bit. And I'm also trying to be a little active in at least the in the weeds portion of the Discord as well. But we want to, and if there's anything you think we can do differently, do better, besides just be better at this show, don't tell us to be better at this show. We're trying, everybody. Let us know in the Discord as well.
We really should have asked Moose what his favorite kind of cheese was.
We should have asked Moose what his favorite kind of cheese was, honestly. Do you think we would have gotten yelled at about that?
No, I don't think we would have. I think that would have been a question well asked and well answered. Speaking of super chats,
TNA, though, had nothing to do with TNA.
No, it doesn't. No, it's TNA cheese. We're asking about total nonstop. What's a cheese that starts with A?
Asiago, is that a cheese?
Yeah, sure. Total nonstop Asiago.
Legitimately, is that a cheese? Like that was just the first
that's cheese.
Word that came to mind. That was like, I don't know. Asiago it's a food, isn't it?
It's a cheese.
Is it
Asiago
legit?
Cheese. Yeah. Anyway, we got a super chat earlier, so donate super chat. Any amount of question or statement right on the air. Ryan Lambert starts us off saying, "Sadly, can't stay for the stream. I'm sorry, Ryan. You're missing out. It's just sending y'all love as always. Hope you IT readers are looking after yourselves as best you can." Thank you, Ryan. Doing our best. I hope you are too. We're going to see. I'm sure you're going to send us some ridiculous Photoshop soon enough, aren't you? I know he will.
Ryan is pushing the Mac and me agenda, which is much appreciated. We got to get our independent film made here, Joel.
That's true. That's true. Our guest is early, and that's always fun. If they're ready, they can give me a thumbs up. They got
a long ways to go to beat Fuego, who was about 45 minutes early.
That's true. Fuego was supposed to be 11. He showed up at 10:15. We were like, the fuck? Yeah. Anyway, very much looking forward to talking with this guy. Last time he and I interacted, he was beating my ass at Mario Karts. So I hope that his Mario Kart skills have gotten much better, because mine have not. He is the IWS Canadian champion. He is the Prime Minister of IWS. He is the one and only Matt Viviani. Good morning.
Good morning, guys. How's it going?
We're well. How are you,
Matt?
Very good, and I'm still the Mario Kart tribal chief, in case you guys are wondering.
Oh, we'll see about that. Then again, you know what? Just straight off the bat, because I said I'd ask about it. Can we talk? Can we talk about this?
What? Oh,
I clicked the wrong thing. Can we talk about this game room?
Yes, we can. This is this is my own little project here. I started Home Arcade, I think, back in November. It was literally an accident. I got one of those targeted ads on Instagram, and it literally led to this. I got the Star Wars machine first. It was on sale, like 50% off. Picked it up at I think it was the Brick, and then put that thing up, and I'm like, man, now I got two of them, because I had the Simpsons one already. And then I saw there was a Mortal Kombat one also kind of on sale at Best Buy. Then they had really nice financing options. So I'm like, man, I'm just gonna get Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter. Then all of a sudden, I got 4 arcade cabinets. Went a little crazy. Got a bunch of neon lights and metal posters and Detolf glass cases, and now I got a whole ass arcade in here.
Do you still get to play? Like, or is it just kind of for effect more than anything?
They're kind of like like furniture right now. I play them once in a while when I got friends coming over, or whenever I got a wrestle card together and a few guys are here early before we hit the road. We come in here and beat the crap out of each other in Mortal Kombat for a few minutes.
Who's your Mortal Kombat character?
My Mortal Kombat character, I'm always Johnny Cage, man.
Okay.
Always.
I respect that. The dick punching. I respect
dick punches, always.
Yeah. Can't go wrong with a good dick punch.
No, you really can't. Then Sub-Zero also. I love freezing people, spamming that shit, low kicking them. Just a real
freeze uppercut combo, just all day, all day.
Hell yeah.
Ryan Sullivan's asking, is that a picture or a painting of Anakin and Obi-Wan over your computer?
It's like one of those like metal paintings. I guess it's hard to explain. It's actually an AI generated image. And my girlfriend for Christmas got it like put on this metal poster, but encased in a wooden frame. It's really, really nice. So I'll try not to destroy my whole setup here and turn my camera around. I got this this new webcam that's just hanging on by a thread here.
Oh boy.
Oh boy, is right.
You got the ceiling lights too.
There we go.
Oh, that's sweet.
They're smoking some death sticks. They didn't go home and rethink their life. All right, so here's a little tour of the arcade. I got some neons up there. I got a Vice City one. You can't really see from this angle, but I think you saw in the picture. Got some Cuphead. There's some Mortal Kombat. That's Majora's Mask over there. And yeah, here's everything else. Got some Pokemon, Dragon Ball Z, whole ass 90s kicking here, including Megabyte for us.
Let's go.
And old school lava lamp right there. Sweet Tooth.
Listen, I'm trying not to babyface you right now, but let's face it. Everyone in this chat is like, yeah, let's go. This is the best.
No, I'm a real prick.
Well, at least he knows. All right, well, you prick, let's talk about it. Canadian champion, here we are, IWS. You got UnFnSanctioned coming up. You got Bob the Animal Anger. You said he didn't deserve a shot.
No, why does he have a title shot? Why? I beat all these legends, and then this little sidekick comes in. IWS's WrestleMania unsanctioned. I got to face the sidekick. This is like beating The Rock and Steve Austin the same night. Then at WrestleMania, I fight Funaki.
Hey, no Funaki slander.
SmackDown number one announcer, and that's about it. It ends there.
All right, you threw me off taking shots at Funaki. Can't have that at all. With IWS working with Crazy Effin' Manny, just any good Crazy Effin' Manny stories, if I can get his name right.
Crazy Effin' Manny stories.
Yeah,
you bet.
Oh man, this guy's gone through more furniture than like I think anyone I've ever seen in my life. Gone off balconies, furniture, glass. I've seen like 3 different like medical professionals literally grafting glass out of his back backstage. Like it's insane. Every time he does like this ultimate death match that's gonna happen this Saturday. Like I can't even imagine what Manny's gonna look like after this. Like the last few shows, like I said, like you got teams of people just picking glass and tacks and just anything you could find at a reno store out of this guy's skin. It's just insane. Like he's nuts. He's PCP Crazy Effin' Manny for a reason.
Have you thought about giving him a shot at that championship? Since you talk about worthy opponents.
Oh, he's had a shot. I pinned him back in September. I pedigreed him right on top of this championship right here. I beat the Green Phantom for this championship, defended it against PCP Manny, and then Sexy Eddie, defeating all 3 founding fathers of the IWS. And then, like I said, now at the WrestleMania of the IWS unsanctioned, I'm facing the sidekick. Like,
well,
they couldn't give me Speedball Mike Bailey, another legend. Another test for me. The final exam. No, I gotta take this pop quiz.
Shouldn't you technically like own the company after defeating all of these people?
I should. I've been carrying this company on my back for close to a year now. Like I've got the weight of a country on my shoulders here with this Canadian championship. I should own the company. As a matter of fact, you know what? I'm going to look into that. I'm gonna see what the shares are going for.
Well, I mean, you are the prime minister of IWS, hypothetically. Well, I don't know if you were voted in, but I mean, you do have a lot of sway given your position.
Oh, I'm a usurper, baby. Kingslayer. Eat your heart out, Jamie Lannister. I got both hands, too.
What decision making goes into being the prime minister? Like, if you could make one, besides wrestling, not a sidekick at the show this weekend, what would the prime minister of IWS do to change the company and make it better?
I would be in every single main event. I would hold every championship. People will not be allowed to attend the show unless they bought my merch, which, by the way, there will be new merch available this Saturday. Check out this baby right here. Want to talk prime minister? Want to talk about making the world a better place?
The unveiling.
Look at that baby right there.
Oh, I like that.
Sexy. Yeah, y'all.
30 Canadian dollars. 30 of our Canadian ones.
What's that? What's that in America bucks? Like 10?
Oh, I don't know, man. Americans have some weird system. They don't measure anything the right way over there. So who knows what do they even use money over there?
I mean, it goes away very quickly. So we sadly use it somehow.
I don't understand that country in any way at all.
Nobody
they use
does.
a lot of bits, not like Twitch bits, but like bits, and they call them coins.
Bitcoins. I've heard about these things. It's like fake money, like that people buy for some reason.
It's like itchy and scratchy bucks.
I really don't understand. Does it come with a Bort license plate?
We're gonna do the rest of this interview as if we're Simpsons fans. This is great. Hey, musical chair shots, mystery wrestling. What are we doing? Musical chair shots.
So apparently that was the Nyla Rose invention. I found out afterwards. Look, man, I tried to use my prime minister powers there to get a chair back in my possession. I made some great offers to my opponents. I offered Hattie a halal McRib. Come on, man. Like, who would not want that? A halal McRib. He thought about it. I offered James Stone hair and sleeves. I've never seen this man in sleeves. I offered him the ability to own sleeves for his shirts. And Sexy Eddie, I don't know if I could say it on here, but I offered to legalize prostitution. Something he would love. He agreed. He gave me his chair. Unfortunately, James Stone, I guess, got a little miffed with the hair comment, turned around, gave me a concussion with this chair shot, and that about wrapped up my musical chair shots.
But okay, a legit concussion, or I don't want to put this out there if it's not legit.
It's that's classified information.
Okay,
gotcha.
Well, glad you're okay. After that, Nyla Rose, what a menace she is trying to come up with this. Why wasn't she in this? You got to be part of your own invention here.
I don't know. It's like Chris Jericho never winning Money in the Bank, even though we invented it. Hey, if she wants to come to the next musical chair shots, and if Uno will have me back, I will gladly chair shot her in the face.
What a jerk move. Like, yeah, I'm going to invent this match where everybody else gets hit in the head with a chair, but not me.
That's pretty sadistic, like maybe she'd make a great prime minister one day. You sit back like the king, watch the peasants destroy themselves.
Honestly, gotta respect it when you put it like that. Gotta respect it.
I do.
So, assuming you retain your title at
assuming Joel.
No, I'm sorry. We have to be journalistic in our approaches to our questions. Listen, we can't get in trouble for our questions and our line of questioning anymore. Okay, I don't want to start getting text messages from the bookers being like, "Hey, what are we doing here?" Okay, JT Producer is in the #1 contendership battle royal at UnFnSanctioned. He's a good friend of yours. What happened to that victory?
Well, let's just say we have contingency plans for title retention, and I'm going to leave it at that.
Okay, but what about you guys don't want to do a fair fight? Who's the better man type of thing? You want to do
I
something?
mean, who wants to see that? Who wants to see two friends punch each other in the face? Who wants to see this face get punched? I don't want to fight JT. JT doesn't want to fight me. We're good friends. We hang out. We do managerial things in our little government, and everyone's happy with their position.
Can you
Matt
punch
Viviani.
Joel in the face for asking these awful questions and trying to get you to fight your friend?
I absolutely can.
What are we doing here? What we never watched the fight porn channels on Reddit? Not literally
Fight porn. Is that where Mac and Me is gonna air?
Given our budget, yes. We're friends fight each other, or just people fight. If it's a good fight, people want to see it. I'm just saying, JT producer, Matt Viviani, having a good fight,
Is that like something that'll be like an OnlyFans exclusive?
It depends on how much money you want to make.
If we can make some money off this, faces will be punched.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
I feel like good money can be made off of anybody punching you, Joel, especially Matt. So let's just do that instead. Let's just have Matt punch you.
What does the chat think about that?
The chat loves when Joel gets punched. Yeah, the chat doesn't like Joel. I don't blame him.
It's not great. We talk about this documentary now. We talk about it. Is it out there? Can we do it?
Yeah. It's been shared.
All right, IWS, they got a documentary. It's coming.
Hell yeah!
From Vlad Yuden's going to be the director. He did Generation Iron. It's about powerlifting. He's done an MMA documentary. Now we're doing one about IWS, the 25 years and its hardcore legacy. Were you a part of the filming of this? Were you involved in this?
The filming is just beginning, and I will be involved. I can't really go into too much detail on what I'll be doing, but I have a pretty significant role in this production, and it's exciting. It's something that's going to be seen by a lot of people. It's something that doesn't happen very often with independent promotions, and it's huge for Canada in general, to be honest, to get a documentary like this. And I'm very excited to take part. I can't wait to see what the production's like, how it turns out, and how many people it reaches.
I know they're doing a lot of filming this weekend for the show. Do you have to be like more cognizant of there's a camera on you at all times and like, all right, maybe I shouldn't do this, shouldn't do that, or do you just go about your business and not worry about the camera?
Luckily enough with IWS, we've had the privilege of being on TV for a few years now, and I think I speak for most of the locker room, and we're just so used to having a camera on us. It's almost like second nature now. We're used to just like knowing our peripherals. Someone's always watching. There's going to be pictures being taken, stuff being filmed, and you just got to be yourself out there, treat it like it's any other show, and just put on your best performance and get some good footage.
The most important question we try to ask our guests: your hottest wrestling take, so we can turn it into a headline here.
My hottest wrestling take?
Yeah, I mean, listen, Shane Hawk comes on here and he blasts the U.S. Indies and gets a lot of notice for that.
I fully back what he said, by the way, because the United States, it is easy mode wrestling. It's for Canadians to get exposure, it's a lot more difficult. And thank God for this documentary. Hopefully this helps, but the Americans just have so much access. For example, for a Canadian talent to get picked up and signed by, let's use WWE as an example, it's not as simple as getting signed. We need work visas and things like that Americans just can do. They can, if somebody in the States is looked at and liked by WWE, it's, hey, come on over to the Performance Center. But with us, it's a bit more like, do we really want to invest in this guy? Do we really want to put all this stock into them and bring them into our country and go through all this paperwork and all this stuff? We have a million more hurdles to jump than the Americans. So I do agree with Shane Hawk on what he said. But my personal hot take, man, you're putting me on the spot here. This is I think the Cody crybabies need to shut their mouths. Let The Rock do his thing.
Fair.
Let The Rock do his thing. He is money. He is money incarnated.
Will we ever see the return of dumb fuck number one?
Will we ever? I don't know what you're talking about.
What? Okay. Do you? What about Dumb Fuck number 2 and the Los Dumb Fucks? You've never heard of them?
I have no idea what you're talking about. No idea. I think I've seen something about this, but I honestly have no idea what you're talking about.
What about Empty-Headed Dumb Fucks? Have you heard of them?
Empty-Headed Dumb Fucks.
Yeah.
Are those Bob the Animal Anger fans? Is that what is that what those are?
Could be.
There's probably not many of them out there.
I feel like whatever this is, this was like, several years and inches ago. Inches of hair. I mean,
No idea what we're talking about.
We got a super chat from Ryan Sullivan asking, Mr. Viviani, do you agree that Joel is worse at Mario Kart? That is a blatant lie from Ryan Sullivan, but he asked the question because we care about our fans.
I think last time we played, I went something like 48-0, so that speaks for that.
It was kind of a disgusting number. It's true.
Yeah.
We play a game on the channel. It's called Partner, Promo, or Punch in the Face. I'm going to give you 3 names. You're going to pick which one you want to partner with in a tag team match, which one you want to do a promo off with in the ring, and which one you want to punch in the face, have a one-on-one fight with. Are you ready?
Oh yeah.
You know these people very well. Alex Mays, Bob Anger, Green Phantom, Matt Viviani. Punch and promo partner.
I've promoted and punched Green Phantom in the face many times, so I guess a partnership would be something pretty interesting. I like a promo off with Alex Mays so I can just completely torch him. And you better believe it, next Saturday there will be many punches thrown in Bob the Animal Anger's face. Many punches.
The setup we all needed. The Prime Minister, the Canadian champion, Matt Viviani faces the Animal, Bob Anger at IWS UnFnSanctioned. It's March the 2nd. Triller Plus. Go find it. Go watch it. Matt Viviani, thank you so much. Please put over anything else you want to.
Put over anything else I want to. Yeah, check out the IWS at IWS Hardcore on Instagram, and I believe also Twitter, X, whatever it's called these days. They got great talent, great matches. You can check them out on Triller. Check out their library, all our previous shows. And if you want to check me out, I'm at Matt Viviani 91 on all socials. Come give me a follow. Come see what I'm about, and you can see some arcade updates too while you're at it.
They're very nice, I got to admit. Thank you for your morning time. Thank you, Matt. Good luck on the 2nd.
Thank you very much.
Take care. Matt Viviani, heck of a talk, heck of a conversation. I can't believe you want people to punch me in the face again, Jeremy. What's wrong with you?
I want everybody to punch you in the face. That's, why wouldn't I?
The problem is every time you want me to do this, I then have to go and clean it up by having one-on-one conversations with them. So I had to do it with Macklin.
And they should punch you in the face during that.
No, they shouldn't. Well, first of all, we did it in a semi-public area. I mean, it was a hotel room, but still can't do that.
They still should have punched you.
No one should be punching me.
You have this claim that you are the Fightful champion.
Yeah, they
you never defend your title.
They gave me a gold title on the Discord.
Yeah, someone.
Shout out to Michael J. Straw.
Can't believe that. I have the power to ban you from the Discord too, by the way.
Do you?
Yeah, that's what Straw said. Can I do this? Let's see.
Aren't we both moderators?
I don't know, but let's see if I can ban Joel. Joel Pearl.
No, I would say don't actually do it because I don't know how easy it is to get back in.
I can block you.
You can block me. That's one thing.
Yeah, I don't want to block you. I want to ban you.
Yeah, don't ban me from this.
Why not?
Well, for 2 reasons. One, I don't know.
I can. It says kick Joel Pearl. It says ban Joel Pearl.
Don't do it because I don't know how easy it is to get back in. And I would like to be able to spend my Tuesday when I'm traveling hanging out in the Discord with our pals. Yeah, people are saying it's not easy to get back. Do not ban. It's a pain in Discord.
Sounds like I should do it, though.
Sounds like, but you shouldn't.
What about kick? What if I kick him?
No, because then you got to re-add me to the group, and I don't know if you can do that either.
Why not?
Stop it. Oh, this is actually very important. Drew Nicholas. We did meet at the first Grand Slam. And so they would have been so jealous of how close we were to the first Grand Slam. And
let's see how difficult this is. Let's invite.
Give me a ride back to my hotel too. Very, very nice guy. Love me some Drew Nicholas.
Let me message Straw here.
Oh god! Oh, this is a whole thing. You gotta go find someone on Twitter. Put this up. Go to Michael J. Straw's Twitter. He's at Mike Straw Media. He's got the info, and Sean also has it on his Twitter. I know Sean also like tweets a billion other things at the same time. So
I just I like when I send messages to people, and it's just like, hey, we need you to join this show. No reason, just like we need you to come on right now.
Right now.
So I've sent the link to Straw. We'll see if he can join us. The wife, by the way, is telling me to not do this, and then it says stop making Joel's life difficult. Why? That
Don't
sounds
make
like
my life
fun.
difficult. No, it's not. I'm the one who actually participates in that Discord.
Nah,
On
I
our-
do.
No, you don't. You've done it once.
What are you talking about?
Someone saying get Will Chisholm to send a super chat to get Joel banned from the Discord. Listen,
Fair.
$500, Jeremy can ban me from the Discord. How's that?
No, I'll do it for much less.
No, you'll do it for $500, Jeremy.
Eh,
You gotta sponsor this episode.
much less.
Anyway,
I'll do it for like $1.
tell you what, we'll add the $5.
$7.
$7. We'll add it
$7 and I'll
We'll
ban
add
Joel.
it to the 500 that from Kim Gray's 5. She says hated the Peacock app over the weekend. Didn't get up until 7:30 a.m. Saturday. Had to wait a while before the replay was available. Network was much better. So, do you want to talk about the Elimination Chamber, the Australia Chamber, the Pirate Chamber?
No.
I don't have much to talk about, to be honest. But I mean, I don't use the Peacock app because I'm Canadian. So things
Okay, Mike Straw's here. Oh boy, everybody's here.
Wow.
Mike Straw's driving. This isn't good.
Why did you
Straw.
do this?
What up? This is awful, but I'm doing it anyway because I'm mad. I left my wallet at home going to the bank. Now I'm driving back to get it.
Okay,
Please be
Mike.
safe.
Yes, be safe. Thank you for joining us for this silly bit that we're doing here. I want to ban Joel Pearl from the Discord, but he says like it's a pain in the ass to get added back. If I ban him, how much difficulty is it to get him added back?
We'd have to verify his account and make sure he's a real person.
Which
That doesn't seem
no,
difficult.
don't do this. Mike, tell him it's hard.
As the reigning Fightful champion, you can't ban him though.
Why not? So if I click ban Joel Pearl, nothing's gonna happen?
I mean, it would, but
Well,
then
then it
I have.
sounds
Then
like
you're.
I
But then
can.
you're making more work for me.
Do you really want to
That's
make Mike
okay.
Straw do more work? He does a lot of work for us already.
I love Mike Straw.
And
but
I'm
so
not
he
even.
doesn't.
Hey, I'm doing this work for the Discord out of the goodness of my heart. I'm not even getting paid.
yeah, but think
Oh.
of the bit. Think of the bit of me just banning Joel Pearl. It's funny.
What if we banned Sean?
That would be very funny too. But like, he's actually above me and can,
I know we
Fire
can't
him.
ban it. Yeah, he's got
Yeah.
the super permissions.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Joel
he's
can't
server
actually
up.
like do anything to me except be mad at this online. Whatever.
Stop doing that.
What about kicking Joel? What does kicking do?
Oh, kicking just removes him and then he can be re-added.
Oh, that's not bad. Okay, I can kick.
No,
Alright.
then I gotta do stuff afterwards to get re-added.
What do you have to do?
Get re-added. I don't want to do this.
Why?
Stop trying to boot me from things.
$7, everybody. $7, and I'll
No,
kick Joel Pearl.
500 is the number.
7.
People are
$7.
disgusting.
Someone would give. I mean, define bucks. Like, is it 7 like American dollars, 7 rubles?
Oh,
7
$7
yen?
in the super chats. I
Seven
don't care.
American dollars. No, 500 American dollars.
$7. In homage to Dwayne. I acknowledge the great one, the tribal Dwayne.
Don't
Acknowledge
acknowledge
him.
anything. No, don't acknowledge that. Now,
Wait,
see,
can
I
I-
was on board, and then you said an homage to Dwayne, and now I'm not on board anymore.
You ever heard of this guy? He had $7 in his pocket, and now he's the biggest star in the
Stop it.
world.
Good. I'm currently at a state where I had more money than he did when he was like 22. Good. I'm happy.
$7.
'Cause I have $10 in my wallet that I don't even have. So I got nothing in my pocket actually. So I'm lying.
Mike,
Not
Shaw,
even
thank
one
you for-
hand?
What was that?
Not even one hand in
Have a
your
pen.
pocket?
Got it.
I got a pen.
No.
And he's got one hand in his pocket, and the other one's driving and trying not to get into a wreck.
Yeah, please don't wreck. Like,
Mike Straw, thank you for
I do
joining
this all
us.
the time. This is nothing new.
Well, be safe. Thanks for doing this.
Of course.
So apparently we solved that I can kick Joel Pearl. That's fine.
don't
Banning.
do it.
Why? $7, everybody. That's it.
You people.
Bye, Mike.
Talk to you guys later.
Thanks, Mike. Oh God.
I got it
Anyway,
pulled up. Look, everybody, it's pulled up right there. All I got to do is kick them.
stop it.
$7.
You know what the worst part is? I can do something just as bad for you.
You could probably ban me and kick me, I assume.
Yeah, I can do other things too.
What? Wait, what?
You know how I really just nip this in the bud? I'm not gonna say it, but there's a way that I can do it. It's just completely nip it in the bud.
Well,
No, because I'm not gonna
What?
give you the idea.
my idea is to kick you. What is the idea?
I can't tell you now. Can't tell you. Because then you might do it. And there you
I'm
might
not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I promise I won't do it.
we can't let you do it. Okay. It's too much, too soon, and you'll have just
Promise.
too much power.
I promise I won't do it.
Speaking of power. The power of Z compels us.
The power of Z compels everybody.
That's true.
Andrew Zarian. Andrew Zarian.
Yes, sir.
Nice eyebrows.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Boy, do I have a case of the Mondays.
Yeah. Talk about it. What are we doing?
I don't want to do anything today.
People yelling at you?
Oh, every day. You have no idea. Every single day I get yelled at.
What kind of hoodie do you have on? Who cares about getting yelled at? What kind of hoodie do you have on?
Oh, look at this.
Oh, I know this one very well. I know this
Yeah.
one.
I got a couple of these. I have 3 different versions of it.
Wow.
Yeah. It's one of my favorite shirts. I get stopped all the time.
It's a nice hoodie.
Yeah. What's going on, guys? Happy Monday.
Happy Monday.
Yeah, sure.
I'm glad that there was a retraction of anger that that was removed.
Did you know, by the way, did you know, completely off topic, did you know that Moose lied to us in his interview?
About what?
He said that there would be blood
Oh, yeah.
on
Yeah, there was no
Friday
blood
on the
in that
match.
match.
There was no blood in their match.
He lied. Fibber.
lied.
Moose is a fibber.
He's a fibber.
Don't call Moose a liar. We're definitely never going to get anybody on this show again.
Well, he's factual in this case. He lied to us, said there will be blood, and then there was no blood. Everything else he said in that interview was factual, and I give him credit for that. He said blood. There was no blood.
So I made a little announcement on Friday on Mat Men that Rich and I are going to be doing a very fun project somewhere.
Really?
I didn't announce where. I didn't announce where it is, but I will say it on this show that Rich and I will be moving to a gigantic pro wrestling media channel.
The CW
Avenue.
network. Hell yeah, Andrew
We
Zarian.
are going the CW app. The CW app.
I just hope that when you get to whatever your main event topic is, you're able to watch that segment. Shout out to Steven Jensen, who went on a full 2-minute tirade on how he couldn't watch the Power main event this past week on the Weekender because the app kicked him out and he just couldn't get it, or it wasn't uploaded, whatever.
I'm also getting sick, and I feel it. It's happening.
Are you going to Greensboro, Zarian?
I'm not. No, but you know what? I do have a tremendous case of FOMO.
Yeah.
I had planned on going because I really, when I was at the World's End show, I got to see Sting, and I was like, man, you know, what an incredible pro wrestler that I have not seen too much of. That might have been, actually, no, I mean, all the AEWs that he's been on, you know, that was like local, I saw him more than once, but in my span of watching wrestling, you know, over 30 something years, probably from like the biggest names in wrestling, I've seen him the least.
Oh, it's because you weren't in the South. We're in WCW.
I wasn't in the South for WCW. I didn't really go to any TNA shows.
Yeah, it was only
because they never were here. I mean, when they came here, it was already kind of over, you know?
Yeah, no Hammerstein Ballroom for them.
I'd love for them to run that again, huh?
They're going to be doing 10,000 pretty soon, so it's fine.
10,000?
10,000 what?
That's what, I don't know. Santino said he thinks that they can do 10,000. They got to get on a better network. So, you know, that's step one, I guess. But he thinks they're on the up and they can be doing 10,000. So I'm just repeating what Santino said, everybody. Don't give me this look.
Hey, you wanna go to Rebellion in Vegas, Andrew Zarian? It's 420.
Is it on 420?
Yeah, it's 420 in Vegas. If you really want to, that show is going to be the slowest moving show in wrestling history. GCW has a show that night in LA. That's going to move at a better pace.
GCW has a pay-per-view in LA on the 20th.
They've got a 420 show. Yeah.
Boy, that's going to be a very busy weekend.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. It's going to be fun.
It's going to be a very busy weekend. Some people are going to have to make a decision on what they want to go to.
Yeah.
There's Collision with Rob Van Dam. Is there something going on the 21st, Andrew Zarian?
I have no idea. Okay. I don't know anything. I don't know. I'm not, I don't want to get yelled at. I don't know.
Where are you going to be at on the 21st, Zarian?
That's a Sunday. Yes. I will be at home in bed.
Okay.
Yeah. Fair. Or in the tub watching wrestling in the tub.
Oh yeah, no, I love that. I love that for you.
I like the comment. Caden goes, Stanford drone Andrew Zarian.
Sounds right. Zarian, come to Greensboro. We'll set up in the cheap seats with.
Are you going? You're going. I know you're going. Joel, are you going
to Greensboro?
Yeah.
Nah, no one's paying me to go to Greensboro.
They don't let Canadians there, right?
They don't.
Is that how it works?
It ain't happening. I'll go to
I got a question for you guys. I got a question because I know you both listen to Mat Men. If for this possible move that we're going to be making, not with that show, but with like another show, do you think, because I had a lot of people message me saying like, oh wow, you're going to have to change your show if you're going that place. Do you think I have to change it in any way?
Well, it depends how massage. No, I'm just kidding. Listen. Does Billy let you get away with talking about anything? Then you're fine. Billy owns CW, right?
Well, listen, you could obviously do open drugs on their pay-per-view. So
yeah.
See, you're already ahead of the game.
Yeah.
I mean, you can
edibles, good to go.
I mean, you can do open drugs.
Listen, I think I'm pretty.
Let's.
I'm never under the influence when I'm doing a show. Only for the watch-alongs. That at the 9 o'clock hour, I got so fed up doing the watch-alongs that I would self-sabotage the stream. Where at like 9:30, I would take an edible and I would say, "We're gonna see what happens now." And if the show ends and it's a captivating show and I'm interested, great. If not, I'm probably dying on the air. And you're gonna watch me melt. And that's what would happen. Sometimes I would just give up midstream. I would just turn off the stream. I wouldn't even say anything.
Well, listen. We're not all saints here on Fightful either. There was that one time when Sean, sparked up during an NXT post show.
Did he really? Good for him.
Yeah. It was the rumors.
Saudi sale rumors. Yeah. That was a night.
Yeah.
That was a 4-hour episode.
Did allegedly coke on the stream too.
Yeah, that's true. Allegedly.
I did. I also did tease something last week on the show that I wanted to address on this. I said, and I think I've told Joel this, and maybe you, Jeremy. I don't know if I've told Jeremy this, but I have such an incredible story about WWE that if I tell the story, I will never be invited back to another event. It is so incredible. It would definitely be bridge burning if I ever spoke about this. Has nothing to do with any kind of sexual assault or allegations. Okay, I just want to say that.
Putting that out there.
I want to put that out there. It's not like I've been holding on to like this big secret. However, if I laid out what was presented to me, it is better than anything Succession could ever do.
Okay, I got to know this now.
I'm waiting. I need to figure out a way to tell the story in a good, frame it, but I will tell you this. I'll tell you off the air when we get off, Jeremy, because it is so incredible. Joel, I think I've told you this story.
I honestly don't remember. It's possible that we talk a lot. So I can't remember what I did yesterday. I got up at 6 a.m. Okay.
So that's one thing. And then I had I've spoken about this before. A lot of news came out. I guess not a lot of news, but a lot of discussion came out around Chris Kanyon late last week about how he was treated and what was done. Did you see all the discourse happening about Kanyon online?
Yeah, because Cena gave Cena answers regarding Vince McMahon, and then people pulled up the Chris Kanyon stuff where he gave Cena answers regarding Chris Kanyon.
So I became friendly with Chris right before his passing. I was doing a non-wrestling show. He was starting to like stream and he wanted to get into podcasting, and we were talking regularly. It just happened that he saw, because my company is called Guys from Queens and he's from Queens, he's from Sunnyside, and we started talking. And we would talk, I would help him out, and he told me, and I know that this was up story, and he said, "Hey, Howard won't have me back on the show because he said what I want to address about Vince would be a tremendous lawsuit, and he can never have this on. Can I come on your show?" And I said, "Sure." I said, "Absolutely." He goes, "No, listen, this is huge. This is groundbreaking. This is going to blow the lid off of this place." Like, he was really adamant that this was a huge story. And then he died. And I have no idea what that story was. And I'm so curious what he had. And it wasn't that he was mistreated. That wasn't the story. I think that was pretty public. I've always wondered what that story was that he had.
There is, Paul Romo was on News Nation, and there's apparently a story out there that's worse than the Janelle Grant allegations. No idea what that could be.
I don't either. Yeah. But this man, I'm going to tell you, Jeremy, I didn't know this guy, but obviously he was trouble. Sweet guy, like such a nice man, right? Obviously he was suffering. He was heavily suffering. He was crying about this. And he said he felt that he needed to talk. He needed to get this out there. He was so distraught that he listen, everybody's mental state, everybody deals with their own way. I don't know if this was a bad episode or a bad moment for him, because he was very open about his mental health, and he had spoken to me about it repeatedly. And again, I had a very short window of a relationship. It was maybe 3 months I would talk to him. And then he passed. I've always wondered for years what this could have been.
Chris Kanyon in WWE, never really given that shot he probably should have. I loved Kanyon in WCW, especially the innovative offense and everything. I was played as him in the WCW revenge games and things like that. Just fantastic professional wrestler, and seemed like a good human being. I can't say I knew anything about him or ever met him or anything, but seemed like a very good human being. And man, it's very unfortunate the way he passed, everything he dealt with leading up to his passing, and that's heavy to have something that he wanted to get out, and then unfortunately,
and he never did.
Never got it out.
He never got it, and now you wonder. Now you wonder all the time, because you hear all these stories, and listen, I'm sure there's going to be a ton of allegations that come out, right? And when these things happen, there's going to be so many different stories and versions, some factual, many not. It's very possible. I'm glad that the Ashley story is coming out. That's something important, but I've always wondered that, because he came off so genuine to me, and my bullshit meter is really good. Okay, a little too good. Sometimes I'm a little bit more pulled back on believing somebody, but he was so. I mean, I didn't think this man was lying to me or working me. I said this to a wrestler that I had a relationship with at the time, and he's like, "Oh no, he's just working you." And I'm like, man, you're not going to sit there and cry to someone to work them. I mean, that's insane.
I'm thinking about Mortis. That was a great character. I'm thinking about the Mortis. Yeah, that was great. Sorry, that's my addition.
Mortis was great. Yeah,
Kanyon was great.
But
yeah,
he was on. If WCW never shut down, I think he would have most likely been on that top tier for the 2001, 2002 year, until they figured out what they were doing. He was incredible. He was doing things that nobody could.
It was a spoof gimmick, but his diamond cutter, that was the first RKO out of nowhere. He was running around just diamond cutting people out of nowhere. That's what really started it.
Wearing that blonde DDP wig.
Yeah.
I love that.
Do you know?
The
You know
canyon
what
cutter out of
bit?
nowhere.
What bit I discovered? I totally forgot that Raven was a rich kid
Yeah.
in
Yes.
WCW,
Just
and
a
Sandman. Sandman's introduction was that he was like this, like the good friend, and he was like a normal human being.
Yep.
And he loved his family, and he would come over, and he's like, we got to do something about Raven. We got to do something about Scotty. You know, he has to stop this. And he was just like, I thought that was hysterical.
Hardcore hack, baby.
Hack. It just took away what made him the Sandman in ECW. It's like, hey, here's Hack.
We'll just give him a girl. It'll be fine. We'll call her Chastity. Let's go.
Unbelievable.
It's okay. He's got a whole plethora of stories he can tell now based on that experience.
You know what? One day I'll write a book, and I'll maybe tell the story of what I was presented. Maybe I'll save that for the book. You want a little scoop?
Of course.
Yes.
This is not a joke, okay? You know that meme that the Matman boys posted on Thanksgiving where I have a book called Wrestling with Ingredients.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I got so many messages. I have started writing that book.
Now hold on. You Eating the Indies is another one that just came out. That's an indie wrestling cookbook.
Is it really?
Yeah, it recently came out, like in the last few months.
Well, mine is going to be called Wrestling with Ingredients, and every dish has a wrestling story about my life.
Okay. All right. I'm for it. Are you going to get the forward written by, I don't know, some chef wrestler?
Renee
would be good. Yeah. Don't do the pizza guy.
I should get RJ City to write the forward, and he shouldn't even know what it's for.
He probably would.
Like write a forward for my book, and then he just writes something. That'd be great.
Something. I don't. What kind of book? You don't need to know. Just write it. I started writing that, so that's a little scoop.
Is there a baked ziti recipe? That's a very good question.
There is a baked ziti recipe, and it's not my recipe. It's a friend of mine that happens to work for one of the big companies, and he told me a great story about how he would come home from school to watch wrestling, and he decided that he was going to bake a ziti, and he ruined the whole thing, and he got like 3rd-degree burns on his hand. And
it doesn't sound very good though.
Yeah, well, apparently the ziti was fantastic, but he just burnt his hand. So that will be that'll be a big ziti recipe.
It was the skin flakes that gave it extra flavor.
He burnt his hand while cooking the ziti. There will be a big ziti recipe, yeah.
And Meat Normus is also in the chatter, pal, saying I can help with meat recipes. So,
oh yeah, there you go, a meat recipe. Yeah, I you know what? John Alba's got to be in that book. He has to have a cameo.
Yeah, but he's
just sous vide something.
He's just gonna want to kick Wagyu. Like this is gonna be like, you got to get your Wagyu. It's gonna cost you $500 in the grocery store. So get ready, wrestling fans.
He's all about sous videing.
Yeah, he is. He's a big sous vide guy.
Yeah,
How
he's
is
a
John
sous vide
Alba
guy.
single?
You know, he didn't take my advice when I took him out to dinner. He didn't listen to me.
I don't know. I mean, that would have made him not single for a night, but I don't know if that would have been a long.
Maybe we'll have a pretty woman situation on our hands if he had done something.
John went on a date with one of my best friends.
Is she still your best friend?
She still is, yeah. One of my childhood friends. It's a weird little bubble we're in, yeah. Childhood best friend.
I mean, after the date, did they still want to be your best friend?
Yeah, but he was like, you know, why does this guy's all about sous videing? He's like, listen, I'm a purist. That's what she said. No, John's a great guy, a sweet, sweet man. I don't. You know what? How is he single? I don't know. We should do like a dating telethon for him.
Oh, could you imagine? Could you imagine if we did? That'll be part of our 24-hour charity.
Dial a date. We can play. Ooh, you know what? I'm bringing a Stern bit back for my show, for this debut show.
No, I told you cannot get the Sabian. You cannot bring it into the studio.
We're not doing the Sibian?
No, can't do that.
Robin. We got Joel Pearl riding the Sibian today. Robin. Tell him, Fred.
Oh, the worst. But no,
I feel like that'd be good for you, Joel.
No, probably not.
Win a date with John Alba. Proceeds. First place gets a $500 gift card usable at Dr. Sal Calabro's Plastic Surgery Center. The winner will get a laser eye surgery courtesy of Dr. Jeff Delarusso, the Delarusso Eye Center.
We'll do this as part of our 24-hour charity stream. Win a date with John Alba. We'll have Joel on the Sibian.
Right, the Sibian.
Jesus Christ.
This is the nuttiest thing ever.
This
is how I poison everyone. This is how it happens.
I feel like this is a good idea.
There's a video. There was a viral video that went around. It was on Reddit a whole bunch of times. I'm sure people have seen it, and it's like the art of it's the poker face video where a guy is sitting in front of a classroom and he's like, this is how this is how you make a good deal. This is how you get the best bang for your buck, and it's poker face,
yeah.
and then they pull out and he has been sitting. He also pulls out of something, and he's sitting on something, and he's like, I just came 7 times and none of y'all knew because he was straight face the whole time. I'll find the video, but it exists, and that's the stupid thing I was thinking about.
What kind of videos are you watching, Joel?
This one is a comedy video, Jeremy Lambert.
And you're watching fight porn as well?
That's right.
We just carried right over from Friday, didn't we, everybody?
Yeah.
Right over from Friday.
Jimmy doesn't understand why there's a sudden influx of revenue.
We need that token sound effect. That's what we need.
Any way to get me to Vegas, that's how we're gonna do it.
We got independent movies to film. We're not trying to get you to Vegas unless you're gonna film a movie in Vegas.
I mean, Vegas would be the perfect place to film Mac and Me.
That's true.
Some of those hotel rooms.
Zarian, you want to star in our remake of Mac and Me? You seen Mac and Me?
Can I be Mac?
If you would like.
Do I fall down that cliff?
you fall down.
Our movie's a little bit different than that movie.
What a disturbing alien that alien is.
It's
disgustingly disturbing looking.
It's a movie. It's something. It sure is something.
It was the ET craze. Yeah. Everybody had an alien pet.
That was something else. Movie. Yeah.
I can't watch ET.
I
can't watch ET. It'll make me cry again. I'll be Mac. I'll do a good Mac.
I'm sure you would.
Look this.
I mean, if that's how you look when it happens, power to
definitely a face you would make.
I like how Zarian has no idea what we're talking about.
Yeah, you gotta go back and watch Friday's show.
Yeah, Zarian is doing his own show on Friday.
Yeah, I didn't watch Friday's show.
Yeah. That's all right. Nobody else.
I didn't watch it.
That's fun.
Wow.
All right, boys. Okay. I gotta go.
Bye, Andrew Zarian.
Right. Joel, get ready to write that Sibian.
Hey, tomorrow. He's not. He'll probably hear this in a minute when he comes back on. I'm traveling tomorrow, Andrew Zarian. So you get 4 hours of me bugging the shit out of you while we talk. I'll be sitting on a train.
Just messaging Andrew Zarian, all these things.
Yeah, we'll just be talking scoops back and forth, making stupid shit.
Yes. Mac enemy.
Yeah, watch Friday's show. Oh man. Speedpunk says, where will the McDonald's dancing happen in your Mac and Me remake? We'll have to reconstruct our own McDonald's for that.
Yeah, we'll have to. I don't know if we.
We'll have
Zarian.
This is when we're actually going to call it McDick's, and it'll be a good box.
Yeah. Zarian no longer wants to be part of Mac and Me. He no longer wants to be Mac. Zarian, we're going to need maybe some of your contacts or something to put this thing together. Yeah.
Oh, anyway, we're an hour into the show, and we had an interview, and that's about all the wrestling we've talked about.
Yeah, what are we doing on this show today?
Well, we got in the weeds on literally everything else. We do have to talk about the Cody Rock stuff from Elimination Chamber. We do probably want to talk about some of Collision because there was some fun stuff there. It was a fine episode. Yeah, the main event was good. Stuff happened. You got BCC and FTR for Revolution. You're going to be there. You're going to enjoy that. Do you think they'll attack?
Am I? Why are you telling me what I'm going to enjoy?
You like Bryan Danielson, and he's got at least a match on that card.
What does that have to do with BCC and
He's
FTR?
part of
though?
BCC. He's not going to be in the
But he's
match.
not in that match.
But he's part of the group. So by
But he's not
extension,
in that match. So
but
I
by
don't care.
extension, let me finish. You would be enjoying BCC. God,
Why?
you
No, just because I like one person doesn't mean I like the entire group.
Wow. So you hate John Moxley and you hate Claudio Castagnoli?
I mean, I didn't say that, but
Can't believe you. Chi-Town Spurs adding to the conversation. The Acclaim, thank you for the memories, but it's time to say goodbye. You ever drop bars in the middle of a rap and then completely forget what the rap is supposed to be about, and then you just say and then you just walk away from the rap? You ever done that in a
couldn't
battle?
edit that one, could they?
No, they couldn't. After all the conversations you and I had about doing it live versus doing it taped, they gave him a live mic and said, "Don't you dare." And he was like, "Oh, just you watch." And then he forgot what he was going to say, or he pulled back on what he was going to say and he realized he screwed it up. I don't know the
He's
instance, but wow.
choking. Just a choke job by old Caster there.
I thought they were going to have the split by now. The Bang Bang Scissor Gang split going into Revolution.
Nah, they're gonna go a little bit longer with this nonsense.
This is going to be an Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross situation where, goddamn it, they're friends. Friends don't split up. These people are friends. We got to keep them friends now. They can also just say it's like Adam Cole and MJF if you want to keep it an AEW thing. But you know,
I like that Hassan's just like, it's a work that he choked during his rap. I'd actually respect that if he just worked in.
I put it out there. I put it out there because he said he's going to have management seeing red, and then he suddenly pulled back and he stopped. So, like, is it possible? Sure. Could they make it a work? Yeah, they can make it into anything. But, like, yeah, you know, if you don't think that way and that's the way you want to see it, sure, go for it. It's not going to hurt anybody. It was just a really
what rhymes with red that he would have said.
No, that dead, bread. Maybe they were facing Satoshi Kojima.
Oh, he's gonna work in a Kojima reference.
Yeah, there you go. See, we could have done everything, but he decided to just stop.
I'll have management seeing red, eating you pussies like Kojima eating bread.
There we go. Dalla, where you at? Why aren't we doing this with you? Okay. And like Jeff Valley Driver saying, you should use it as an angle. I don't know what the angle is, because then you're going up like a management hates me type of thing, and it's like you really have to make it be a not a fun angle, but like a usable angle. You know what I mean? Like a useful one. What's the angle of like management hates what Tony Khan doesn't like me, so I'm gonna fight Tony Khan? Is this a freedom of speech thing? Is he gonna go like full MAGA? Like, what are we gonna do here? What? I don't know. He's gonna rage against the machine. I don't know. That's the thing. It's like, what if you make it a work? What works to make it into a story? Does it?
The Young Bucks.
Okay, you could do that. You can have the Bucks come out and be like, "We told you not to say this, and you said it." They're okay. There are EVPs that are useful in this context. Yes.
Yeah. So the Young Bucks would be. That's a feud, I guess.
Like, I mean, let's say, okay, let's
are the Acclaimed baby faces or heels?
Depends who you ask and when they come out and who they rap about and who's selling for the famouser, because that was a babyface sell. I don't care what you
say. My guys sipping the savage sauce, baby.
Oh, they sipped it right over the top rope. That was
guys, Jack Jameson and Boulder and Bronson, baby. Love those guys.
Wild. Isn't it amazing that at one point, like the Iron Savages, when they were just with the tag team they were known as before, just it was no traction, and then this has turned them into like a really fun trios to see.
Ass eating is over.
Oh, very much so. But I'm saying like they took this and they've made it into something that is so much fun. They're like, their time can come. That's fine. But right now people are watching and they're enjoying it, like myself included. I think that's really good for them.
People love eating ass.
They do. Yeah, I don't know. He's just how do you do it? You can have the Young Bucks and the Acclaimed eventually. I don't know if like hypothetically, let's say Sting and Darby retain at Revolution. And the next
Wow.
night, Sting and Darby address the fans, and not next night, on the Wednesday, because
Sting's never appearing on Dynamite again after this Wednesday.
no, after next Wednesday. I thought he was doing the Wednesday after Revolution.
No.
Wasn't that what Tony said? He was doing the one after?
Tony said that this is Sting's final Dynamite this
This
Wednesday.
week. Oh, I thought it was.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was next Wednesday for some reason.
Why would you think it was the next Wednesday?
So he can properly say his goodbyes to the
No.
AEW universe.
He's
The
never
AEW
appearing on AEW television again after Sunday.
You're right. So it's his final Dynamite this
Yeah.
Wednesday. Well, either way, let's just say they retain. And then they decide to drop the belts in the ring and say, okay, well, I don't have a tag partner anymore. So that's out.
Darby will fight alone. He doesn't care.
Okay. So Darby's then going to be a part of a tag team title tournament of some sorts.
He just fights alone. He keeps the title and he's just like, whatever, 2-on-1.
Makes the rest of the tag division look like shit. Let's go.
I mean, he should lose his first match, but Flair is going to be his partner.
I still got one left in me. Woo! And Darby's like, fuck no. Get me out of here. I quit.
Flair with his partner. Yeah, MJF defended those ROH tag team titles by himself. He beat a bunch of people.
Listen, it's all just leading up to Conrad coming into the ring this Wednesday on Dynamite and being like, Sting, congratulations on your big career and welcome to the family, because starting on March the 4th on adfreeshows.com, it's going to be Sting's last words.
No,
it's going to be me and Sting.
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson, and you're listening to In the Rafters with Sting.
That's true. My Southerner sounds more like Jeff Jarrett than it did.
Yeah, I don't know.
Johnny from Alabama.
What you were doing there.
I just said, listen, it's Huntsville. Connie basically bought the arena for them for the night. So it's going to be him running the show, right? That's how it's got to be. Oh man. Will Chisholm sent a super chat saying it's funny to see fans how upset people are about Jay White's booking. To be fair, I didn't pick this storyline out of my HST is actually a tax form here in Canada. So oops, there we go. Listen, the Jay White booking, I still think that Jay White should be booked stronger as a singles competitor. Is this entertaining? Sure. Like, am I laughing? Sure. Would I rather see him presented a little stronger as a single star? Yes. But here we are. I don't know if you have anything to add to that.
I mean, Jay White, he got a world title shot. Now he's doing this stuff. Oh.
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson, and it's showtime with Sting on AfriShows.com.
Conrad's the co-host. A Sting podcast would be fun. They should let me host that.
They wouldn't have, that would be a Conrad hosting gig for sure. Yeah. Of all the shows he does, you know how it goes now. It's like he does the first 6 months and then he starts passing it off to a co-host because something else is going on. And then all of us, you know how it works. That's how it goes. Anyway. There was stuff from Collision that was fun. And then Sting's last match is coming up. But the point
Danielson beating the shit out of that jobber Jun Akiyama.
I mean, listen, they brought in a non-AEW ref just to make sure that it wasn't a one-sided affair, and then it was a one-sided affair.
I love that Danielson flipped him off and then hit him in the dick afterwards. Bryan Danielson rules.
That was a good match. It was fun. And then, you know what? And I said this on Friday or even earlier in the week last week. I said I really hope they put Eddie Kingston out on commentary, and that's what they did, and I was really happy to see that, because again, you progress the story using that particular match and using that particular wrestler sitting at ringside. It was good stuff, and the match itself was just exactly what it would have been. Good, by the way.
It was good. Bryan Danielson rules. Collision was a fine show. Stuff happened, it's the week before Revolution here, so it was
a match with wrestling on it.
Yeah, Collision always has some good wrestling on it.
Yeah, exactly. We'll see what the go home Dynamite's going to look like on Wednesday. We'll talk about it on Wednesday when we preview it, but I don't know what we're going to do on Friday. Elimination Chamber time. Let's talk about really the only thing that mattered.
Tell everybody that I was right, Joel Pearl.
Oh, did you read that tweet?
Now the wife did. I don't read anything you put out there, but the wife saw it, and she just saw that, like, I just read the first 4 words of Jeremy was right, and so I thought I'd show you this. She's looking out for me.
Thought she was my friend.
Nah, she for some reason married me.
I was gonna say she's your friend first.
Yeah.
I get it. Then again, my wife would be the type to send that stuff to you too. Anyway,
You just
wife
gotta
does.
accept it, Joel.
It's true. Anyway, yes. Okay. The show was exactly as everyone expected it to be.
Not
Oh.
everyone, because people thought, oh, The Rock is gonna show up and Roman Reigns. They're gonna do The Rock and
Okay,
Roman Reigns in Australia.
Let's try this again. Going into it 2 weeks before the show was live. Let's go a week before the show was live. We all kind of figured out, okay, it's gonna be a show with matches that are predictable, and we know how it's gonna go, and that'll be that. They went so far as to have Roman Reigns say he's not showing up. They went so far as to have The Rock say he's not showing up. They had Triple H double down and be like, nah, neither of them are coming. And then they had the mayor of Perth be like, dear Mr. Rock, cross out Mr. Rock and just say Rock. We wish you were coming to our show. We will pay you money. Please, we will give you the mayorship. You can own a series of vodkas in our presence.
Tequila. The Rock's
No,
a tequila man, not a vodka man.
It's vodka here, though. That's the thing. Anyway, yeah. So the Rock wasn't there, and it was just a. Okay. Let me put it like this. From now on, anytime WWE is going to an international spot, whereas an underserved fan base, it's going to be loud, it's going to be boisterous, and it probably will not matter as to what is on the card. So unless it's Saudi and they've paid $50 million, and that's different. But the point is, we as fans, I'm not saying don't go into it expecting less. I'm just saying temper your expectations for a good show and get excited for the fact that it's going to be a loud show and a well-received show, but it's not going to be a blockbuster event. You knew who was going to win the chamber. You knew who was going to win. You just kind of knew. The only news-making item was Cody being like, "I got time, Rock, I want you," and everyone was like, "Oh, that's a wrinkle." And Seth Rollins being like, "I'm days from being cleared to compete." So that was really the only storyline that kind of moved anything forward.
Real storyline. The real
was
storyline.
AJ Styles flying 20 hours to beat up LA Knight because he's the hater of the year. Yes.
That's not what I was going to say at all.
Yes, it was.
But it 100 million% was not, Joel. The real storyline was what I said they should do on Friday's show, and that's beat up that Geek Austin Theory while Grayson Waller is just like,
we
go
said
ahead.
it would happen. We
Go
both
ahead, beat
said
him
that.
up.
Yes.
Yes, good. That's exactly what should have happened. Grayson Waller just like, I ain't claiming this dude. Y'all go ahead. Take him out. Go for it. Good. That ruled. That was the best thing that happened on this show. I don't care about AJ Styles. I mean, it was fine, but no, that was not where I was going at all with that. Like the matches were good. Like there was nothing bad on this show. I like the show for the most part.
Again, these people know how to work wrestling matches. That's never the problem.
Yeah.
You can put together a card with like mismatched, no storyline driven stories. And guess what? These wrestlers will know how to wrestle.
Yeah, it was a good show, but like I said it months ago when people tried to talk themselves into Rock and Roman or Roman and Cody or whatever the fuck they thought they were going to get out of this show. It is different. They ain't putting that stuff on at 5 a.m. in the morning for their biggest audience. They couldn't even get the replay up in time for people. Like they just weren't going to put that stuff on at that time. It was a fine show. It was, if you didn't watch it live, you didn't really miss anything. You could catch up, fast forward through some stuff because I saw everybody complaining there was 55 minutes between matches. Well, sorry you got up at 6 a.m. to watch this stuff.
5 a.m. for some people, 3 if they want.
Well, yeah, I mean 6 a.m. is like by the time that 55-minute break had happened. Sorry you're up at 6 a.m. for all of that stuff. No, but it was a fine show. Drew McIntyre won as he should. Becky Lynch won as she should. Those are two big Mania matches. Cody issuing the challenge, which I assume is going to set up the tag team match. Rock's on SmackDown for the next 3 weeks. So,
yeah, right.
That's good stuff. I want to hear poor Denise, by the way. I want to hear poor
Denise is doing just fine.
Jeremy Lambert didn't sleep a wink. You know why? Because there was a New Japan show that ran right into Elimination Chamber. New
Yeah.
Japan started at like 12:30. So we had, what was this, Friday night? So we had SmackDown. I covered SmackDown. We had TNA, covered that. We had New Japan, covered that. Elimination Chamber, covered that. Care about Denise Salcedo. Oh, I didn't sleep. I covered like 12 hours of wrestling. I
Also,
didn't sleep.
also,
She took a nap.
love Denise, but like she did bust it open. And we're better than busted open is really what my point is here.
We like Denise. She hit her head on the microphone too. Bless her.
Did she?
Yeah.
That sucks. sorry to hear that. For real. That does hurt.
Yeah, so. No, we love Denise Salcedo, but you know, she got up early to watch it. Good on her. Some people really love this business and they didn't sleep because they were also watching New Japan, like me. You know, talk about the New Japan show, Joel? I'm sure you didn't watch that.
I finished TNA No Surrender. SP3 and I did the post show here on Fightful Overbooked, and my ass went to sleep. I don't know if people know this. It's
Cowardly.
a very unknown fact in my world that I have a child, and that when the weekend comes around, I am full on dad mode, baby, until that kid goes down for a nap and I get work done for an hour. And then after that kid goes down for his sleep at night, the rest of the time I'm in dad slash
This man is
family mode.
I have a child.
I do. That is
I gotta
factual.
sleep. I can't do my work because I got a child. I got 12 kids, Joel. You hear me complaining.
Your
Still
kids-
staying up, watching all this wrestling.
Here's the problem with that. One, your kids are older and they are a little more independent. Mine could
That's not
jump
true.
off of a couch and kill himself
Well,
without knowing that those are the repercussions of his actions.
just stick him in a little playpen. He'll be fine.
Yeah, we tried that. He's climbing now. It's not really.
Put a roof over, like a Hell in a Cell.
Should I poke a few holes while I'm at it?
If you want.
That guy.
See, Phil's dedicated to the business, much like me.
Yeah, no, I just watched everything after the fact like a smart person.
Cowardly.
Y'all pay me to cover and I'll cover. But for now, y'all ain't paying me to cover beyond TNA. So I'm not watching live if I don't have to.
Cowardly.
Well, you know, I had a very good weekend as a result of that. Watched the Elimination Chamber on Saturday in that hour and a half that I had with my kid down because I didn't have to watch 55 minutes between. I could just bremo the shit through this show.
Cowardly.
My child is not Sammy Guevara. Thank you. He was too busy trying to jump off ladders onto tables.
That was a good match between Hobbs and Guevara. Hopefully that's over with.
Yeah.
I don't know where else you go from there. Hobbs beat him. All right, let's end it.
Meat Norma sent us a super chat. Thank you very much. Saying, do y'all have a Miro update? Meat Madness is under 1,000 pounds and only 3 wrestlers. Where's Willie Mack, Keith Lee, or even Preston Vance? Unacceptable. Well, Keith Lee is still injured as far as we understand it. So he's out. Willie Mack, yeah, I'd love to see him. Preston Vance, sure. They're too busy teasing someone else joining Los Ingobernables for now. So that's out. You got to go raise your arm like you're part of the nation, but actually you're
Tranquillo.
Yeah, you know what? Listen, you want to know where Miro is? He's not willing to lose for this match. Does
he have to?
Well, I mean, it's a triple threat right now. He does have to lose because he's not going to win.
Why? Somebody else could get pinned. Isn't that what Lance Archer's there for?
Still a big old L.
He's not getting pinned, though.
Yeah, but still. I feel like the Miro thing is like, unless you have something for me, don't just bring me in. Because he's done that a few times.
Well, he beat Andrade, and then we haven't seen him on TV.
Part of me does wonder if CJ's recovery has part to do with that, and it's entirely possible. So I'm not going to speak, completely negatively about Miro. I like seeing Miro wrestle. We haven't seen him wrestle much in AEW. That's kind of been the shitty part. Yeah, if it's a triple threat, which it seems like it's going to be, it's Wardlow's match to win. Call in Lance Archer. Pin Lance Archer, Hobbs gets thrown out at the last minute, and there we go. Look at us.
Wardlow should stack him.
That would be fantastic.
Yeah, put him over.
Hobbs in the middle and Archer on the bottom.
Stack them both. I don't care how he gets it done. Malachi wrestled a singles match. People were talking about that. He beat Brian Keith, that big old loser.
I kept my mouth shut. I just laughed. I saw people being like, TK saw the discourse and said, "Here, damn." And I was like, "No, which discourse are we talking about? Because we got 2 levels here, and you're about to play into one, and you're about to give the fans the other one. So what do you want to do?"
Yeah, give him a singles match, give him a win. Couldn't have Brian Keith get a victory.
Again, this is the same. It's a similar conversation. Great wrestler, Brian Keith. Great match with Malachi Black. In the wins and losses matter column, that's a different conversation. So
He's a giant loser, Joel.
yeah, he just kind of lost. Anyway, then Will Chisholm sent a super chat saying, "To be fair, I think all the women look great in the women's chamber. This is back to WWE. Plus, I gotta say, Nia's second run has been good. Who would have thought her second would be better than Ronda's second run? Well, Ronda went and had a child and then decided she didn't like this anymore. Nia came back interested and interesting. And remember when she first came back and she landed right on, was it Rhea Ripley's chest? Was it?
Yeah.
Was it? Yeah,
it was Rhea.
And
Yeah.
slapped her face, and everyone was like,
Yeah.
acceptable, can't be. I don't know what happened between now and then, but it did a good. It lit a fire, and it did well. It was good.
I think Nia, based on Nia was, I'm not gonna say Nia was like great before. I think she was miscast before. And now she's cast a little bit better. She's working with people like Becky, like Rhea, who are obviously really good at the in-ring stuff and really good at the story stuff. That's been helpful. And she said it when she came back, is she's like, before I just kind of worked with a lot of smaller girls, and she's bigger than all of them. So working with the smaller girls, she couldn't do quite as much. She had to kind of be the powerhouse, but they booked her kind of like that, but it was weird. Now she's working with some like bigger people, and it works better for her. She's definitely more motivated. I think that's 100% true. I think she's also just being cast a little bit better in this role too, which is helpful for that.
Yeah, and again, the idea of her second run being she is a larger competitor in a division that's full of various sized women, and you had someone who's considered a powerhouse in Rhea Ripley come in and be the one to pick her up and take her down, and the match being all about trying to hit that riptide. That, again, good storytelling, and you're using Nia properly.
She slammed Rhea on the table with the monitor still there, and that shit didn't break. She called an audible. I assume she did, but then like doing the elbow drop through the table, it's like, fuck, man, that looked like it sucked. But bless them for going out there and just being like, all right, we gotta get this table broken here. It added to the match, that's for sure. Like, they did a good job improvising that, if that's what happened.
Also, like, go out of your way to watch the short interview. They're all short because it was press junket that Nia did with our pal Anna in Perth. It was very funny. And Nia actually, like, she has jokes. She's
yeah, Nia's always been like, she can be
witty.
cheeky. Yeah,
she's witty.
Yeah, and witty. Will on the super chat here. This is still one of my favorite things ever. We've talked about this on the show before.
Yes, we have.
Yeah, I wanted Nia to like face Charlotte, return, just start shooting on each other, start throwing fucking hands. That ruled. The greatest thing Nia ever did. The greatest thing Charlotte ever did. Honestly, that's the real women's revolution right there. Just shoot fighting.
Yeah, they just missed a spot and went swinging and then got back on track.
Yeah, then they tried to like fake do it, and I was like, this sucks now. But like when they did it for real, it's awesome. Absolutely awesome.
Oh man.
By the way, shout out to Anna Bauer.
Yes.
The Becky Lynch interview is the most amazing thing I've ever seen in my life. The beginning of that, like the absolute beginning that thing.
So
where she's just like, I'm here with Becky Lynch. Hold on, can we play the clip? Do we have the clip?
If you don't have the clip, I have. Hold on, let's see if I can find it.
Oh,
here we go. Sean has the clip, but I'll show you just all you need is the screen cap to really get.
No. We need the clip.
You want to find the clip? You go find it.
Yeah, play the clip.
I don't have the clip. I gotta download it.
Gosh, Joel. All right, I'll get the clip.
Don't. Oh my gosh, Joel, come on. We weren't planning to bring this up.
Hold on.
Kind of came up.
Let's throw to the clip. I gotta cut it off or else we'll get demonetized.
Okay, so here's the actual photo. This is all you need to know.
Nah, hold on. Let's get the clip.
All right, you're finding the actual clip.
I got it. Yeah. I'm gonna download it. And we can play this clip.
It was very
amazing. So when Sean like sent in, he's like, I don't think any of these are gonna be like super timely or newsworthy, but if you can pull anything like out of these interviews, please do. And I saw the first one he posted was with Becky, and I was like, all right, I'll go through this Becky interview. And then we get the beginning of this interview, which I'm about to play here in a second. And then Becky talks about scraping gum off the side of the road with pennies and chewing it. What?
Yeah. Oh,
What?
that was great. Remember, leading up to the event, Sean was like, Anna hasn't watched wrestling in X amount of years, and she's asking some of the questions, and I don't know how to respond because she's bringing up stuff like, where is Buddy Murphy? And it's 2018 all over again.
Cold. All right, here's the clip.
I am Anna from Fightful, and I'm here with superstar Becky Lynch. Hi, man, I love you.
Oh, thank you. I don't know you, but if we got to know each other, I think I could love you too. Maybe.
I cackled when I first saw that. I was like, this is the greatest opening to an interview I've ever seen in my life. And then I replayed it so many times, just cackled at this whole thing.
Just to deconstruct it, first of all, Becky is fantastic. It's so wholesome because she plays right into it. And then you got Anna doing the squee while you've got Becky getting closer. Oh, so good.
Anna just asking people like, all right, let's do an Australian citizen test. You ever heard of this drop of danger thing? Vegemite? Like what? Tiffany Stratton, by the way, that was a really fun interview.
I knew
Stratton was like getting into it as well. Like it was Tiffany Stratton. I don't know if she's ever left America before going to Australia. So Anna was fantastic. I saw dorks who are like, oh, this is who's representing Fightful, doesn't know anything.
Yeah, you're damn right. It's great.
Yeah, that's the bit on this. This is funny. This is hilarious. Knock it off. You want people who know what they're talking about and are up to date on the news? Go watch an Alex McCarthy interview. He asked about Vince allegations, things like that. Alex McCarthy is going to be on the show on Wednesday. Breaking news.
Thank you for telling me.
I tried to get him on the show today, but he's like, "Oh, I got travel. I'm traveling back and forth." Like, "Oh, you're ducking me, McCarthy."
Oh yeah, this is right. Tiffany
Knifey Spoony. Yeah, she was doing that one.
Well, no, apparently Tiffany forgot she flew.
Oh, she did. Yep. Yeah.
Oh, that's good stuff. Will Chisholm says, I laughed so hard when they played Cody's theme so long and looped twice with the pyro. It was just so Cody. Listen, man, the machine's behind him. They got all the pyro. And that's so what's funny is that I thought that they were doing an AR pyro bit when they showed the big external shot of the stadium when Cody came out. And then they showed the inside where they're looking out, like up and out of the stadium, and the pyro's going, and it's like legitimate fireworks. I thought that was pretty cool. But oh man, they brought it all out for Cody, and then they gave you a little bit back to Drew.
I got a very important text message.
Oh yeah?
Join at a rally in Raleigh, which I don't live in North Carolina anymore.
Oh
but
no. What is this? Sting main event? Is it you getting stuff from David LaGreca telling us we're doing a Sting rally?
No, the esteemed Nikki Haley is texting me.
Even worse. Text stop.
I assume I'm just going to get a bunch of these political nonsense. I saw this and, I get a little notification in my corner on my computer and it's like, Jeremy, it's Nikki Haley. I was like, the fuck is Nikki Haley? What wrestler is this messaging me to like set up an interview?
That is a very wrestler name, by the way.
Yeah, it is. I was like, who is it? Is this Nikki Cross's alt or something? Does she want to come on the show? We talk some Taylor Swift. It'd be great. Nikki Cross would be fantastic.
Still need to get Deanna on our show to talk about Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
So she's talking to other people on this channel, but a bunch of jerks. Yeah, they had the pyro on barges outside of the stadium. That's what I saw. But like they've done fake pyro before on these shows, like the big external shots at the Rumble. I think they did it.
Oh, that was a real one. The Rio one, at least. That was real.
The one that they did on Saturday. Yeah. The stuff in Australia. But I'm saying at the Rumble, they did one shot that was the exterior of the building, and that was all AR. Because at one point you see it like coming off of a car. It's like I don't think that the fireworks would be doing that quite like that. So
yeah, that was real because like when they go back into the stadium shot, like you still see it shooting above.
That's what I was saying. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Is that it looks like when they do the big open shot from outside the stadium, it looks like it's fake. But then when you go back into the stadium and they're shooting to the outside, like shooting from in to out, then it's real fireworks, and it looks really cool.
Just imagine like being in Australia and like these fireworks just going off on a random ass Saturday night. Like what is happening?
It's a small enough town. I think people just knew what was going on. Like,
I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, the wrestling fans. What are they all doing here?
Well, they should have been at the show then if they knew what was happening.
I mean, listen, whatever the population is in Perth, they probably all were. All 52,059.
They probably thought it was a Taylor Swift concert.
That's right. There's a thumbnail. If there's no thumbnail on this video, then someone screwed up because there is a video. There is a thumbnail on this video.
What'd you do, Joel?
No, it's there. I saw that it's something had happened on the back end, but it's there.
What'd you do, Joel?
Whatever. I fixed everything. So when are we doing Cody and Rock?
Oh, it does. The thumbnail doesn't show up.
Oh, that's weird. All
Not
right, let me go try and fix that while we talk about Cody and Rock. So Cody makes a challenge. Cody's got time. Oh yeah, I see that. It was there and then it's gone.
It's clearly there because like it's on the Fightful channel, and like it wouldn't be there if the thumbnail didn't load, unless you loaded the thumbnail as a photo instead of just let the preload from the video.
I mean, I did both, but let me see what happened. Yeah, it's our backend has it. Like on our YouTube studio, it has it.
No, I don't know.
It's a YouTube problem, okay? It's a YouTube
Joel
problem.
screwed up. Just blame Joel.
I'll show you guys the back of it right now. I'll take a screenshot.
Joel screwed
You'll
up.
also see our analytics if you really want it.
Joel screwed up.
That's true. 1,200 people watched our show on Friday. That's good.
That's unfortunate because all they did was hear about Mac and me too.
Well, then I had
just like, watching the show, and it's like these guys are trying to crowdfund a porn.
Well, then I had one dork leave a comment, and I rarely respond to comments, but one dork is just like, no, Pearl doesn't like Mercedes because he said she's a bad promo. And I'm like,
fair.
Listen, dork.
True.
I spoke highly of Mercedes in 100 other videos at 100 other times, and this is the one you want to get to.
Yep.
Stop being a dork. Sasha Banks in WWE was not a good promo.
Joel hates Mercedes. He hates anything to do with AEW. Just can't stand him. Mercedes going to AEW. Just the worst career decision she could make.
Ruining everything. Who can take her seriously now, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
not me, folks. Love the Mercedes. Love Mercedes Moné. She's great. Sasha Banks was also great. She was the blueprint. She was the boss. She was, all the other things she called herself.
Yes, that's what she called herself. That's right.
It's boss time.
True.
What do you think? Like when she comes out,
Town Spurs got it. I'm just mad that TNA is not the number 2 promotion anymore.
Don't worry, TNA is gonna do 10,000 fans pretty soon. It's all good.
People saying I hate women by extension. Therefore, I can't.
Oh man, remember when you almost got in trouble on Friday's show?
No, I knew what I was saying. I knew exactly where I was going, and I knew exactly what I was saying. Don't you start.
You almost got yourself in trouble.
No, it's fine. It wouldn't be the first time.
Yeah.
Literally the first time. It wouldn't be the first time that week.
Joel does hate Mercedes, though. Please put that on the internet.
Don't tell people I was mad. Do not tell people that I was burying Mercedes.
Please tell people that Joel.
I was burying Sasha Banks. I wasn't burying Mercedes Moné. What are we doing here?
What if I tweeted that, like, hey, everybody?
No. No.
You changed your tune real quick right there.
There is a difference between
it's all fun and games until
Twitter gets involved. Listen, there is an incredible irony of the episode where we have Fuego del Sol literally saying, and I quote, fuck the tribalists, and then us having to deal with this type of comments. And this
you having to deal with it, not me.
The show.
I love the crew.
Oh, like what are we doing here?
I love 'em. Mercedes, big business, Boston.
Yes, they are called
Love
the
it.
crew. Why Syllable? It's true.
I was just suggesting, what if I tweet Joel Pearl hates Mercedes Moné /
No,
Sasha Banks?
this is almost no.
What if I tweet that?
Do not do that's no. Stop.
Oh, Joel, yeah, Joel can't, yeah. Oh, make it a question so you're not responsible.
Stop it. Oh God.
It's
There.
not often said, but when you really think about it,
Yeah.
Joel Pearl hates Mercedes Moné.
I had to write a damn book just to make my points. Yeah, like I got the IZW anonymous general manager saying you're gonna have people show up at your doorstep. I got security where I live.
Not my doorstep. I don't dislike Mercedes Moné / Sasha Banks. I think she's the greatest female wrestler of all time. But Joel, on the other hand, not
Stop
a fan.
it.
Not a fan. I don't understand it, Joel.
Stop it.
I don't.
The weirdos come out when you do this.
You're the one who has said these things, not me.
Stop it. Stop it. I'm gonna have to get people to take care of these things.
You notice how Joel, by the way, is not refuting any of this. He's just telling me to stop. Why don't you condemn your hatred for Mercedes Moné? You're not refuting. You're not denying. You're just saying, no, don't tweet that.
Hold
don't
on.
put that. Please let
minutes ago it
let
was.
everybody know.
Stop it. 5
Can I
minutes ago.
speak?
No,
Can I
because,
speak?
no, because you're lying. 5 minutes
Joel
ago.
is not denying
Stop
any of that. He's just telling me don't do it. There's no denial from Joel. All right? I want that put out there. I want that on record. Roll the tape. Everyone can see it.
Yeah, like Sean's got it. I'm more of an Audi guy.
No denial. Making jokes. That's all.
It's just the worst. Yeah, Jeff Valley drivers. Like Jeremy's always thinking of ways to put me in physical harm. Stop it.
Yes. Factual. I don't deny that. Much like Joel does not deny his hatred of Mercedes Moné.
You, by the way, you can't send Moose after me. Moose, I don't know if likes is the word I would use, but Moose tolerates me.
Oh, okay. He's in the animal, not the wrestler, though. Like
Oh,
an actual
okay.
moose after you.
Oh, speaking of animals, Bob the animal.
Batista? You gonna join us?
No, Bob Anger from IWS will be joining us on Wednesday. He's going to refute all of the comments made by Matt Viviani earlier this morning. So
Can we get Batista?
Yeah, probably.
You think so?
Yeah, I'm sure if we ask hard enough.
I'll message and see. Like, dear Big Dick Dave, please come on our show and let's talk about Joel's hatred of Mercedes Moné.
That might actually get him to join. Oh God! You know what's funny is that a lot of y'all might actually try to tweet something. That's okay. My quality filter is so goddamn high that I don't see most of y'all's tweets unless I'm either following you or you're verified / have a phone number / have an email associated to your account. There was a time when Twitter would actually, instead of just clicking a box that had a check mark, it used to be, how high do you want your quality filter? It was a slider. And I slid that thing to the highest, and it never changed once they went to a check mark box. So now whatever my very high was, it remains that way. So I don't see a lot of y'all's tweets.
Oh, who cares, Joel? We got to pitch Mac and me to Batista. That's what we got to do.
Okay, but only if I could be Mac. You can do whatever you want, Big Dick Dave Batista.
Batista's always looking to do like new stuff, new roles, challenge himself, right?
Well, no, you know what you got to do? You got to say, Dave, we have 100 puppies and they're all going to be taken out if you don't come and save them all. And Dave will be like, I'll be right there, Mr. Beast. I mean, Jeremy Beast. I mean, Mr. Lambert.
I feel like we could get to Big Dick Dave on here. I feel like we can do it.
I think we can do it.
Yeah.
Can we get Mr. Beast on here? Big wrestling fan, Mr. Beast?
Is he a big wrestling fan?
I don't think he is. I think the only thing Mr. Beast likes is his content and YouTube. And when you ask him what about YouTube, he just says YouTube. I'm pretty sure that Mr. Beast is a creation of YouTube. Like YouTube's like he wasn't born. He was just like manifested and like Stargate entered his way into the world from YouTube. North Carolina, just there he is. They just
Do you
placed
say
him
so?
there. Said cost of living is low. Good luck.
Do you say so?
I think so. Would love to have him on our show though.
I mean, sure. We get Mr. Beast on there.
Yeah, he calls YouTube dad.
Oh, Batista in Fast and Furious. Oh my gosh. I would come so much if that happened.
We should ask him if he was the pirate who stole the cell.
Like, I don't know what I would do if that happened. I'd rent out the whole theater. Just watch that. Just
So
on my own.
this is funny. Dr. Disrespect is the reason we have a Twitch.
He likes wrestling, doesn't he?
I think so. He showed up at that Fox premiere.
Yeah, he's done shit with like The Undertaker, I feel too.
Yeah. Now I definitely don't want that. But people know the Dr. Disrespect story. I've told it on the air about how his situation between YouTube and Twitch was the reason Sean wouldn't let us start a Twitch channel for the longest time. You know this? You know the story.
I allegedly know this story. I don't really know anything.
I mean, listen, to make a long story short, he thought that because of what happened with Dr. Disrespect, it would happen to the Fightful YouTube channel. And he's like, I put way too much work into this that to have YouTube, take it down because we're co-streaming on Twitch. And I was like, I don't think we're big enough for that to be a YouTube problem. And then here we are, so many years later. Thank you, Dr. Disrespect, for confusing our boss.
I'd like Chris Danger to be on this show. He's cool.
We
Sean's
want-
got an interview with him coming out.
We
Pretty
wanted
soon.
Chris Danger. We were going to ask him to join us before his DPW debut when it was going to be Adam Cole, but then everything changed.
Baby.
He still had the match, but it was different at the time, baby.
I feel like if we just message Chris, he might be willing to join us.
Yeah, I think so. But now he just did one with Sean, so now he doesn't want to touch to us. He had the big guy, so it's fine.
Yeah, no one's above family. I don't think Batista is above the Fast. Nobody's above the Fast and Furious movies. I love Batista, but like he's not above the Fast and Furious movies, no matter what he says.
It's true.
Not.
He's always booked to win in my heart. So did you see the brackets for the New Japan Cup?
Yeah, I wrote about it.
Yeah, Jack Perry's going to make it to the final.
Maybe.
I think he's going to face David Finlay in the bracket final.
You think he's gonna face Finlay in the bracket final?
Yeah, I think their bracket is going to be, or their side of the bracket.
Yeah, their side. Yeah.
I think it's going to be their final.
That's possible. And then on the other side, Shingo and
yeah, I don't care about the other side. I just looked at it. I was just like, just a big old group.
Well, you're a New Japan hater, so it's fine.
That's true. I am.
Man, I'm gonna prepare everybody. Get ready for Evil to win this thing. My guy Evil. I'm full on House of Torture, by the way. Hope everybody knows that I support the House of Torture and everything they're doing. So I'm fully supporting Evil winning this and facing Naito at Sakura Genesis. I'm all for Evil. And you should just beat Naito. You should just take the title from him. Prove that he was Mr. LIJ, and then when he left on his own accord. But we need a good Evil and Naito feud. We haven't seen that in a very long time. It's been like 2 years, 3 years, maybe even 4 years. I feel like that was a pandemic feud. So now you got to run it back in front of the audience because it was so good during the pandemic that it deserves an audience. So Evil's winning this thing, baby.
People saying David Finlay needs to win the New Japan Cup to be taken seriously as a Bullet Club leader. What if he's just not the leader of Bullet Club? What if Jack Perry is going to be the new leader of Bullet Club?
That would be cool.
I mean, listen, Ace of Base are no longer using the Bullet Club music in TNA, so the coolest thing ever is gone. Like the coolest presentation of Bullet Club.
Well, I mean, that's because nobody else from Bullet Club is in TNA. Hey, remember when Jay White showed up in TNA and like Kenny Omega was there and people were like, oh, this is awesome.
I do. That was a good time.
It led to nothing.
I mean, I'm all for it.
But they're gonna do 10,000. Don't worry.
Yeah. They are going to do 10,000. They're going to do it at Skyway Studios. They'll do 10,000.
What would it take for 10,000 people to come to a TNA show? Like, who? They can't do it with the current roster. No offense to the current roster, but like, what would it take for this to actually happen?
I will add, Jeff Valley Driver is right. It did add to it. It became a Jay White versus Alex Shelley match. That was good. But again, it was still Impact and people weren't watching. What would get 10,000 people through the door for TNA? Well, you got to run the Palms again, but then you got to like super pack the Palms because the Palms can only hold like 2,000 people, 2,500. So,
okay, well, you're a quarter of the way there then.
You got to run the Sphere. Monty Brown has to come back.
Oh, yeah. All right. Monty Brown, you'll get 10,000 in the door.
I'm not even kidding. Monty Brown for TNA fans would absolutely. No, I know you're not, but like, just for anyone who's like thinking we're just joking around, like Monty Brown coming back for a match would, even if it's the last match ever, that would get a lot of TNA fans, nostalgic fans, through the doors. They would pay for that.
Do we think so? People are saying, Westall will say Mercedes and Jordan Gray say Shock say Mercedes, Westall, Danielson, and Josh Alexander. I don't know if there is like a great match that they can fully do. This is not a knock on like Mercedes or anything, but like she's going to do big business because that's her big debut and everything. Like if you do like an AEW TNA super show, because that's largely what it would take, right? Like that's what you need to do. I don't think a TNA New Japan super show does it, but does an AEW and TNA super show like really do it?
So 3 things have to come into play. 1, it would have to be AEW. 2, it would have to be at a major, not a major venue, but in a major area. So it would have to be Chicago, or it would have to be, I wouldn't say Tennessee, but it would have to be a major market. I wouldn't do it in New York. I would do it in Chicago. You could do it maybe in Nashville. Again, you run Vegas, but then you run the risk of like, you can only run like 3 different venues that have 10,000 seats there. So, and I say the Sphere, that was kind of being facetious, but the idea of running a wrestling show at the Sphere, no one's done it yet. So the presentation would probably entice people to be like, how does it look? UFC is going to run there in a few months. So there is that. And then I'm sure WWE is going to try and do something at the Sphere. I'm sure they're
I don't think they're going to like get the Sphere. I don't think they're going to get
Oh no, I don't think they're going to do it either.
Let's just take that out of the equation.
You want to take it out completely? Because we're just talking in hypotheticals anyway, because we don't know if TNA and AEW would even work together again.
Well, in a hypothetical, they ain't getting 10,000 through the door.
Well, if it's AEW and TNA, they might. And again, if the right matches are made and the right stories are told, again, this comes down to just you have to tell the stories properly. And this isn't a knock on any, like, this isn't like AEW doesn't tell stories. No, it's like, to get people invested, you can't just say, oh, we're going to do this and then say dream matches. There would have to be some crossover. There would have to be some, you got to watch some of the TV or at least some of the socials to get a bigger sense of why this matters.
See, here's why I think it would be very, very tough for this to happen.
Somebody
it works. Well, yeah, but like it works with like AEW, New Japan. You can put on the big show, even though New Japan wrestlers come over more often now. But like beforehand, let's go back to Forbidden Door, even 1 or 2. I don't know how Forbidden Door this year is going to do, but they're doing it at Arthur Ashe. But like, okay, when are you going to get to see Okada in America? When are you going to get to see Naito in America? When are you going to see Will Ospreay in America? Like it was a little more few and far between. Now it's a little bit easier, obviously. But like TNA, you see these guys, like you see them on indies, you see them just throughout, you see them on television as well. Like, I don't know, man. Like you could do like Josh Alexander, Kenny Omega, Speedball, and Bryan Danielson. You can do dream match stuff. I just don't know. No offense to anybody in TNA. I just don't know if anybody is like that big of a like star to where it's like, okay, we're gonna full on like it. It just feels like it'd just be a giant AEW show, and you'd probably get 10,000 for an AEW show if it's a big pay-per-view. But then it just feels like AEW is doing all of that.
Yeah, they'll be doing a lot of heavy lifting. I was going to say, like, this is, again, I'm not joking when I ask this question, because I think back to our Fuego del Sol interview and the conversation about who's over, and Jericho was the immediate name that was produced in that conversation. Who does Chris Jericho face? Is it Jericho and Moose and they do a TNA World Championship match, assuming Moose is the champion today going into that show? Like, what's the Jericho match? Because that inevitably would run some tickets.
Yeah. I think the AEW people would certainly sell some tickets, but this is why
100%.
they don't need to work with TNAs, because they can
Yeah, it would just boost TNA.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, and I understand. Again, from a business standpoint, there is not much reward for AEW other than look at us. It looks good because we're working with other promotions. Well, they already work with other promotions. They work with CMLL. They work with AAA to a certain degree. They work with New Japan to a certain degree. Like, there is something. Someone said Jericho and PCO, and that is the answer. Oh my God.
Like, okay, so an AEW TNA co-show could probably do 10,000, but that's largely going to be on the back of AEW.
Yeah, for multiple reasons. One that also includes television promotion is going to be much stronger on the AEW side, given their numbers.
Asan brings up something. So more appropriate to do ROH with TNA.
But then I don't think TNA wants to do anything with ROH because, again, there's
right. I agree, but now we're at least talking a little bit more realistic, and like, what could you do 10,000 with anybody in ROH?
I mean, it depends. Do we have their champions? Because they're all fixtures on.
I mean, ROH doesn't even have their champions.
That's kind of my point. But like, you look at the champions in ROH, the 6-man tag champions of the Bang Bang Gang. So you can bring in Jay White and the Guns for something. That's something. Eddie Kingston, you do a Triple Crown versus the TNA World Champion. Like, the champions have to be in play, because if you can't get the champions,
even if the champions are in play,
Athena versus Jordan Grace. Sure. Again, we're not going to build this on the backs of one match unless you have a big Kenny versus Josh match. You know, that's the only way that you build it on one match. Yeah, exactly. Even then, it's a Super Indy 5000 maybe. But yeah, you would need a big ensemble cast of matches.
I'm just like thinking, okay, Athena, Jordan Grace, and great match. Where, you know, you do Bang Bang Scissor Gang, Jay White against somebody. You do Eddie Kingston against like Josh Alexander. Like, all these are good matches and everything. I don't think people. I understand Cody and the Bucks did this because it was the biggest independent show ever, and like, people were fiending for something that wasn't WWE. 10,000's difficult. Like, AEW only does 10,000 when it's a big pay-per-view at this point. Maybe they hit 10,000 with Mercedes. It's going to be close. I hope they do. But they barely did 10,000 for Grand Slam this past year. Like, 10,000 is not an easy task to hit, especially when it's cool matches. There's no knock. Like, that's for sure. Like, there's very cool matches. But like, AEW does cool matches every week on TV, and you're getting like 2,000 people at these shows.
Someone asked, Weisolable asked, what was the highest show TNA has done recently? It was Hard to Kill. It was their rebrand show. And that was, I got to go back, but it was under 2,000. Pretty sure.
According to Cage Match. We'll look this up on the Cage
Match. Look it up on Cage Match. I was going to go to WrestleTix, but this makes more sense. I would do
Cage Match says 1,600.
Okay, so there you go. No, it's not a huge number. Again, the last time TNA was hot enough to fill major spaces, major venues, would have been in the early 2010s, and that's when they were on decline. I'm thinking about the Alamo Dome show.
and man, 10,000 it's a lot of people.
It is. It's a big venue, and I think you hit the nail on the head when you said that when when the Bucks and Cody did it, it was when the Elite did it, really, with Cody, it was at a time when the only game in town was WWE in terms of major wrestling on television that was hot, and WWE was also at a point where people were kind of getting bored and sick of it. So they came in at a time when there was a demand for something else. Now, God, you can turn on wrestling 7 days a week, multiple times a day, and you can have your hunger satiated quickly.
Like this is when we mentioned ROH and just how kind of little footprint they have. Their current show, their Supercard show, is only set up for 2,000. They're at 1,300 right now. They might end up hitting 2,000. They might end up opening up a little bit more seats. There's going to be 60,000 wrestling fans that weekend. And they're only set up to have 2,000. And they're not even selling that right now. I mean, I get like it's the same time as SmackDown. A lot of people are going to want to be at the SmackDown before WrestleMania, but then that's only like 20,000 or so. There's still 60,000 people who are going to be at WrestleMania the next 2 nights. There's still 40,000 people who might be in the area who aren't bothering going to an ROH show. Like, there's not a whole lot of footprint for ROH. 10,000, so many people, man.
It is. And I see Chi-Town Spurs saying they'll hit 3,000 once matches get announced. And if they do that thing again where they announce all the matches a week before, they might not do that because that was a problem with the last Ring of Honor special. They took them forever just to get to the point, and I think they only did maybe 2,700 at the end.
I do think that they'll obviously do a little bit better once matches get announced because they'll use AEW people. Like, I think that they'll have a few AEW names on this show to help kind of pack it in a little bit. I would assume Eddie Kingston has some type of match. He will probably take on kind of a top name. They might even have some New Japan people on this show because New Japan will be running with I think they're running a WrestleMania weekend show. You know, there's going to be some other just like indie talent that a lot of people like that might be on this show, but yeah, I don't think there's really anything for just like a TNA show. And certainly if you just put TNA talent, you got nothing else. Maybe you're allowed, hey, we'll give you Will Ospreay for a match. We'll give you Bryan Danielson for a match. I love Bryan Danielson. I love all these guys, but like they ain't moving that many tickets when you can see them wrestle weekly.
And
Just
I'm thinking about like we do Ospreay Alexander 3 because it's the rubber match.
yeah, that's not doing 10,000.
It's not doing 10,000. It's not. It's gonna get people excited, but it's not gonna get 10,000 people in the room. It's a lot tougher than people might think. We're in a very different space in wrestling than we were 6 years ago, 5 years ago. There's a lot out there.
Well, Santino believes they can do 10,000. All they need is a better television deal.
Great. I'm sure they'll all fit into the Don Kolov arena where he can fit 350 if it's packed. Will Chisholm sent a super chat saying the thing at QQE, which is WWE at the time, WWE thing is, I gotta read these before I do it. I'm sorry.
It was just bad, like so bad. A lot of YouTube stopped doing WWE reviews. It was so bad. Now,
that wasn't 2018. That was going into the pandemic, late 2019 into 2020. At 2018, things were on the decline, but they were
2018 wasn't good either, though.
It wasn't good, but it got significantly worse around mid 2019. Post SummerSlam 2019, people were like, "No, this sucks. This is awful. Like, we're done." You had different podcasts being like, "We're not going to review Raw live after the show anymore."
2019 was Mania 35.
Yeah,
right.
That was the triple threat.
Yeah. People like that show. It was long, but for the most part, everyone loved. Oh, Becky won. That's cool. Kofi Mania. That's cool. Everything coming out of that was pretty bad.
Seth beating Brock was a moment. Then they had to do SummerSlam.
Right. Well, this is what I'm saying. Like everything coming out of that show was bad. That show itself was fine, but like then you set up that terrible Corbin and Seth feud, and then Lacey and Becky. I don't even remember what was going on. Kofi was having like the challenger of the month, but like it wasn't super hot or anything. Like that was some bad stuff in 2019, and then going into 2020, and then of course the pandemic happened. But yeah, there was a lot of bad stuff throughout that.
Yeah, I think once Kofi's reign ended, that was the end for a lot of people. Just the way in which it went.
I mean, there was that. That was the Fiend and Rollins stuff, which people weren't happy about for good reason. So yeah, that was a lot of bad stuff. That was bad television back then, and that's why AEW. I mean, it didn't exist then, but that's why in 2018 they were able to kind of capitalize. And then in 2019 they came in very hot, and people were excited for it because WWE didn't do anything after WrestleMania in 2019 to really combat that this new company was about to open and start on television and get you to tune in.
Yeah. Oh, anyway, Why Soulable says super chat saying, with this conversation, seeing how TNA and AEW draw respectively, is it fair to perceive the juggernaut of WWE being the outlier as opposed to AEW and TNA failing? Well, yeah, this was, again, a lot of things changed over the last few years in WWE that have created them to be, in terms of like fan engagement and fan perception amongst the people like us who sit in front of a microphone with chat rooms talking about it. They've done a lot of fan service things that have worked, whereas AEW at the time was doing it when WWE wasn't. So people found the alternative as AEW, but then things kind of shifted and you saw how the storytelling went. And again, 2023 AEW versus WWE 2023 was very different storytelling methods, and it ended up working for WWE. So they've always been the juggernaut because they have 50 plus years ahead of any other company, not named CML. But with TNA, it's like TNA has just been a victim of their own circumstances every single time. And that's been the frustration that I've had as a fan of TNA, is that every time they get hot, something happens that draws them backwards. And this latest one is such a strange situation, talking about the Scott D'Amore situation. It's been so strange that they had all the momentum and then right away they're like, snap it back. And that just messed up a lot of feeling towards the product. So I'm sure you're going to add to this.
I mean, that's true. I think with TNA, yes, that was key for TNA to do 10K book Mystico. Honestly, that might work.
Only in one state.
Yeah, you run Texas, book Mystico, you might actually pull off 10,000.
He's gonna put Brian Keith on there, and he'll lose, and then they'll give you the Brian Keith as a TNA contract.
Like with TNA, like yes, sometimes they just do things to shoot themselves in the foot on this stuff. But like the other thing is, this is just what TNA kind of has always done. Even when they have a great show and they do have momentum, I think their format with the taping of television just doesn't lend itself to like stay hot. You look at this, what was the coming out of Hard to Kill? What was everybody excited about? What was the big thing at Hard to Kill? Nick Nemeth.
Oh,
well, yeah, the Snake Eyes tapings. But yeah,
yes, Nick Nemeth was.
Nick Nemeth was. Hey, we got Nick Nemeth. This is so cool. And then he did a couple things on television, and then their first big show, no Nick Nemeth. He's over there wrestling in New Japan.
So I will point this out. I think this was actually where TNA did the right thing. They had Nick Nemeth on the TV tapings, or at least a few of them, for the first whatever, and then he went to Japan. But it was counterbalancing Nick Nemeth with Mustafa Ali, because they didn't have Ali for the TV tapings, but they had him for video promos. But they had Nemeth for TV promos. They just didn't do, or for TV matches. They just didn't have him there. So like they're playing a balance game with Ali and Nick Nemeth.
Sure.
Right. So I'm pushing back on that one thing because I see what you're saying and I agree. But it was like that was the one kind of saving grace with everything with Nick Nemeth.
A little bit, yes. The thing is, one, you can the idea is to have both because that looks better.
Yes.
My biggest point is you closed your big show, your big rebranding show with Nick Nemeth crossing the line, ripping the t-shirt, big cheers, TNA, TNA, TNA. And then your next big pay-per-view, you have no Nick Nemeth. That's a miss. Okay, Ali is there, but Ali was not part of your big show, your big rebranding show. So the idea would be, hey, let's do both. And then it really looks good. So like TNA just, their taping schedule lends itself to where it's tough for them to stay hot. They're on a channel that no one has. It's tough. And then AEW, so A-Shock's saying like, what stories can AEW tell to be hot again. Like, I think AEW is doing pretty well with storylines and getting people interested. Like, people are hot for Samoa Joe, Swerve, and Hangman. People are hot for like Danielson and Kingston. Like, they're hot for like a lot of this wrestling and stuff. Sometimes it just doesn't make sense of why the companies get as hot as they do. WWE's got like holes in their story, but when Cody is as over as he is, when Rock returns, when Roman, say what you will about him, but the fact that he doesn't work every show and has held the title makes him a big attraction. It's like, oh shit, Roman Reigns is coming to my town. They have Drew is doing great work. They've done well of getting certain guys just over and maintaining them over. AEW, one thing I will kind of continue. I've said this since the beginning with AEW. They got a lot of people who the crowd is hot for, who are presented as more or less top guys who everybody's like, get excited for this guy, get excited for this guy, get excited for this guy. But when you present everybody sort of on that equal playing field of main event, no one is actually in that main event top spot. That's where WWE does a very good job, and you can dislike it if you want, but they're telling you Cody is above all of these people. And so you want to go out of your way to see Cody. And they do little things. Nobody's saying AEW is failing. I hope that's not the takeaway from all of this, by the way.
Like us saying AEW is failing at something means that doesn't mean it's going to be forever. That means that's something that they can work on to be better at. Failing is not, it's not like it's not binary.
They do little things that just like, here's Cody sticking around for the main event or after the main event and shaking hands and kissing babies and all of this kind of stuff. Like, they're very good at that stuff that AEW used to do. And I don't feel like doesn't do as much now because it's like, we got to tape Rampage. We got to tape 5 hours of ROH, and people are they're out after that. And I do think that stuff hurts, that you might not think about it, but Meltzer's talked about this. And this is one thing I agree with on Meltzer's. Like, you go to a Collision show, I see Bryan Danielson, Eddie Kingston in the main event. If I go home after that, Eddie Kingston is, cool and everything. He does a promo, Danielson, like him do a promo. You either go home happy then, or you stick around for Collision or for Rampage taping or the ROH tapings. And like the last thing you see is, I don't know, who's on these, a gravity match. It's like, all right, fine. It's like midnight. And the last thing I saw was Gravity. It doesn't lend itself to like, come back.
You always want to see Gravity. It's a great song by Jack Johnson.
Yeah, so Big Man Dogs, this is what Age struggles to present their main event as larger, as special. This is what I said after Kenny Omega won the title. This was during the pandemic. One, I did like the helicopter thing that he got. But like, I know people don't like the WWE like recap everything type of video package and like, okay, we get it. We watch the shows. That stuff makes it feel important though. Like when Kenny Omega won the title, the next show just opened like it was the next show. It didn't feel like you had this monumental title change at the last show with Omega, with Sting coming in. It was just, it's Wednesday. Here's AEW. Like sometimes you got to do these big video packages, and AEW is getting a little bit better about this, but sometimes you got to do these big video package recapping. Like, hey, last week, Samoa Joe came out here and said he's going to beat all these dudes' asses. And that makes Samoa Joe feels more important.
And they did that last week, which is something that I pointed out was a positive. When you give us, again, it's not about, video packages when we can Google it. Well, no, that's a different conversation. The conversation here is just keeping your canon up to speed so that fans who may have dipped out for a week or whatever, they're still up to date with the story and why it's important to the show. That's what's important. Showing me, why I care about person X coming in, that's not the conversation that's being had. So going back to the point that Jeremy was making, character development is huge. That is wrestling. I can tell you, like, I'll take Matt Viviani, for example, who was on the show earlier as we do over 2 hours today. Viviani was a wrestler, a good wrestler, but now he's doing a character that has gotten over with IWS and has continued to get him bookings. And as a result, he is seeing the fruits of his labor. And that is something that is beneficial in any wrestling show, is a character, something that you latch onto. Good guy, bad guy, whatever you are, it gets you talked about. Swerve is a great character. Hangman Page is a relatable, great character. Samoa Joe, I don't know what he is, but people like him. And if they don't like him, then they hate him for the things that he says. He's a great character. And the more characters you have on a show that is on television where you present characters is how you get more people invested in watching your characters develop and become parts of the show. And once that happens, you're looking good. More people want to talk about what these characters are doing beyond just having great matches and winning and losing. Tell me why. And again, this is a commentary thing. Like, tell me why this person deserves to win or lose.
There ain't enough videos. Tell me why every main event it feels the same. Tell me why AEW, give me stories. I want my stories.
Two things. I will say that TK is a boss on a best friend thing. He's gotten away from that. He has, by all accounts, he has gone away from just being, I want to be friends. Like, once they left Pandemic, it was like, it's harder to get a hold of TK. There are people who stand to do the work that gets to TK, not direct lines anymore. That's changed. The other thing is someone saying, shouldn't it be a good thing that everyone's being a main eventer? No, you need a depth chart. You need a hierarchy. People can shift in and out, but it shouldn't be every week people shift in and out. If your top stars are presented as top stars in your main event matches every week, then you know that there is a top star, and that is the person you should be paying attention to the most on the show. It shouldn't be that everyone's important, everyone gets a shot. It should be that the people who work the hardest get the top. And that's, again, I'm not disparaging AEW or the presentation, but I'm saying when there's a hierarchy, so to speak, of wrestlers, then things like what's the word? A ranking system, if you want to get into that. That's when a ranking.
When was the last time they updated those damn things?
August 2022. But that's kind of the point that we're making, is that the presentation is different. And again, there are a lot of things that they're starting to do well again that we're actually quite enjoying. I'll speak for myself, at least, that they're doing, that I'm enjoying. And there are certain things that I'm like, okay, we can still work on this. And that's a good thing, because if there's things to work on, then it means that we're still trending in the right direction. We're not just coming here and being like, everything sucks, because we've had those conversations, and those are not fun conversations unless we're laughing about it. But now that we can be like, yeah, there's good stuff here. But as long as you're building a roster that has some importance in terms of hierarchy and presentation, then people will care more, because at the end of the day, this is just a television show. That's all it is.
Someone said, which I agreed with, Big Man Dogs again. Notice how much skippable of what happens AEW feels when I had to skip it a couple of weeks. I don't feel like I missed anything. Not necessarily that I fully agree with, because I feel like if you do miss an AEW show, you do miss some stuff. I was mainly wanted to touch on the point of they present stuff as skippable, because it is a lot of, hey, to the back, hey, let's move on to this next segment. One thing that I know people have been upset about is like the announcements. So they used to do Excalibur ran down 500 matches in 2 seconds, and there you go. Now they don't even do that. Now it's like they'll announce matches like during the main event type of thing. And this is, again, like, this is what WWE does very well. Before the main event, they're going to tell you, next week, we got this match, we got this match. That's typically what happens on these WWE shows. Maybe you're not excited for these matches, fine. But like, they take the time before the main event and tell you, and they got the graphic, this is happening, this is happening. AEW used to do that, but again, Excalibur would run down 3 million things and people couldn't comprehend all of it, which I kind of think was fair. Now it's like during the main event, it's like, Tony Khan has just made this official. We got this big match. Like, they did that on Collision. They're like, Tony Khan has just made this 6-man match official for Dynamite. It's like, all right, cool. But I'm trying to also pay attention to this main event as well. Like, the letting things breathe is one thing that a lot of people have said about AEW. There is good and let's do a lot of cool stuff, but there's also good in let's let something sit for a second, and so people comprehend and take in what is happening. And it's a tough balance. I understand WWE, people don't always like the WWE where video package, video package, video package, video package. I get all of that. I do. Like there's pros and cons to both. I think both companies can learn a lesson from each other sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely. I like that this all kind of spun out from who can sell a 10,000 seat arena out anymore. Will Chisholm sent a super chat, probably our last one because we got to get moving. We know Roman is the guy, but Cody looks like the guy also, and Gunther feels like the guy. They all feel big. I think AEW can do better with that. And that's it. It's a depth chart. We know that they're the best in their divisions or the best in their presentation. It's how you then later on put them together. That's kind of what we're getting to, presentation of characters. And when they're not being characters after titles, then they're having interpersonal feuds that lead them to titles. This is the whole situation with,
and they got too many damn titles. That's the real complaint.
So this is another conversation is like, well, that's another conversation for another time on the AEW side. But when people say, oh, WWE needs a women's mid-card title, no, they don't. They need women fighting each other for the sake of getting a shot at the women's championship, not the women's Intercontinental Championship or whatever you call it. There is no women's mid-card because you don't need one. You don't have the depth of a women's roster these days. Well, you're starting to build a little tag division, but like at the end of the day, a women's mid-card title isn't going to mean more to anybody. It's just going to be a belt. It's just going to be a prop. Go after the women's titles. There are 2 of them. 3 if you count the tag titles. Go to NXT. There's another one.
I want less titles. Way less titles. Just none. How about that?
No title. Just one.
Yeah.
Just one men's. One. You know what? Just one man. One title. Gender non-specific. I don't care how you identify. You're just fighting for a championship.
TBS title is very good because they build stories around that. They can make the women's tag team titles in WWE very good if they build stories instead of just like, hey, here's a match to do. But if you're just going to give me a mid-card title for a mid-card title, no, I don't want it either. Like if you're going to tell stories around it, cool, great.
Yeah, the Ring of Honor Women's Television Championship is not a title that needs to exist unless you're going to fold it into the women's title because Billy Starks wins the title, goes after Athena again, and then Billy Starks wins the the Ring of Honor Women's Championship, and then says, well, don't need this television title anymore. We're just going to fold it into one. If it's a big giant bit to get to that, great. But otherwise, I don't think you need another belt in Ring of Honor. It should just be done.
John Moxley has it right. You got the Oceanic Pacific Northwestern Championship. Everyone's just got a title.
That's right.
You get a title and you get a title.
Meanwhile, Nick Nemeth is going to globally defend his New Japan title
against a loser, Hiroshi Tanahashi, who lost to Matt Riddle, and now he gets a title shot at this global championship. All these losers getting title matches.
President Tanahashi pulling the strings. It's okay. Nick Nemeth has other title defenses he's going to come up with soon enough. No spoilers in. So with that, I think we're going to get out of here. I have nothing else to add. Do you, Jeremy Lambert? I mean, we could go another hour, but let's not. We got
Raw tonight. There's only 2 matches announced. Should they do a better job announcing matches?
No, they should have more. They should have more video package getting me ready for Raw.
I assume they're going to have like a bunch of matches announced at like 5:00 or some shit. People are gonna
street fight though. It's gonna be good.
The street fight. I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to Sammy and Shinsuke. They should just like beat for beat do their NXT match.
Do the 2016? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm all for it.
Just like do it beat for beat. I'm really interested in what they're doing with Sammy because he plays the underdog very, very well. And they're obviously playing that up. And I think you might have suggested, I've seen it suggested elsewhere. We've talked about it on the show. Sammy and Gunther at Mania. They can tell that story and that can be a big WrestleMania match. I don't know if that's the way they're going to go, but they could really tell that story and it could feel like a big deal with Gunther being the conqueror and, you know, the end boss, essentially, this dominant historic reign, and Sammy like the ultimate underdog right now. It's a great story.
The underdog from the underground.
Is that what he calls himself?
That is what he used to call himself in NXT because he was skanking. He was doing the dance.
They should have a Raw underground fight. Who would win a shoot fight between Sammy and Gunther?
NXT already took that. They appropriated the NXT underground.
Who would win that shoot fight?
Gunther and Sammy.
Yeah.
Sammy's scrappy, but I feel like Gunther would just do one whoop overhand chop, and that'd be it for Sammy.
Yeah, but like he's gonna move. He's not just gonna stand there and like take it. I feel like Gunther would. He might have. I don't know if he has like a legit shooter background, but yeah, I think Sammy's like good in like a scrappy sense. I feel like Gunther could actually maul a dude if he has like any type of training.
Yeah, Sammy's a theater kid. I don't really think he's got the fighting acumen.
KO and Gunther would be a good shoot fight. KO, I feel like he'd just like keep coming forward, and Gunther just like, oh fuck, like the hell.
KO is also a theater kid, so yes.
Yeah, but KO feels like he can scrap a little. Sammy, I feel like can scrap a little.
Shooter McGunther.
I mean, Gunther got slapped by Matt Riddle and didn't do shit.
That's right. Thank God Mansoor was here to comment on that. Go check that interview out. It's in our archives, I'm sure. Oh, Jeremy, let's get out of here. There's enough going on in the wrestling world. We could take a break, right? Back on Wednesday?
What do you mean? Yeah, we'll be back on Wednesday. I mean, we'll let everybody know. Friday is up in the air right now. We might not have a show on Friday. Joel is cowardly and just doesn't want to do a show.
Okay, let's go back. Okay, fine. Let's actually say it. So I'm traveling to visit my parents. Full disclosure. No, I'll be honest. My dad is he's fine, but he is not great. So I'm going to go and just help out around the house and just be there for my folks. So that's my plan for the week. I'm leaving tomorrow. I come back on Friday. So Friday I'm heading back, but I'll be leaving at 10 a.m. In other words, I wouldn't be able to do the show because my internet would be non-existent.
Joel just doesn't want to do a show.
I just don't want to do a show. We'll do a video package for Friday instead. So because of that, Friday is also travel day for a lot of people going to Greensboro for AEW Revolution. And that includes SP3, who would have been my replacement for Friday. And Jeremy is also supposedly going to the show.
Yeah, that's really the biggest holdup. If I'm around, I'll do a show. I don't know who's going to be on it. I don't know what we're going to do, but I'll do a show if I'm around. If I'm not around, then obviously I'm not doing a show.
There you go. It's not the end of the world if we don't do a Friday show, because we're going to do main channel Monday next Monday, probably talking about Revolution.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to be at that show because Monday would be my travel back day.
So I'll find somebody else to go and do it with me.
Yeah, that one might be a little difficult, but we'll keep everybody updated. I don't know when we might not even have like a full update on Wednesday's show of what's going to happen on Friday. Certainly by Spotlight, I'll know. I'll let everybody know there, and we'll let everybody know in the Discord. Come hang out in the Discord, and that's where all the in the weeds scoops are going to be at, the Discord.
Yeah, I'm going to be spending a lot of my time in that Discord. Definitely on Tuesday, tomorrow, and definitely on Friday on my way back. So there you go. Get at me there. Anything else to plug tomorrow, Wednesday? Plan is Bob Anger from IWS at 11 a.m. and our Drew McIntyre is scheduled to join us. Alex McCarthy, who was in Perth?
He was. So McCarthy, I tried to get him on today's show, and I was like, hey, come join our show tomorrow. And he's like, what time? And this is at like 10 o'clock at night. No, it was 11 o'clock at night. 11 o'clock at night. And I'm like, in 12 hours, come on our show. And he's like, I'm traveling. I'm on a flight, or I'm about to get on a flight. I won't even be like, I'll barely be home. I was like, so say hi to your family and then join our show. What's wrong with you, McCarthy? And he's a coward, and he didn't want to join us, but he said he'll join us on Wednesday.
So there you go. He'll join us on Wednesday, and we'll have Bob Anger as well from IWS. Looking forward to that. Anything else to plug, Jeremy Lambert?
Folks, you got like 2 minutes, $7. I'll kick Joel Pearl. $7. Come on.
Stop it. I am at Joel Pearl. JOELPERL. Ladies and
$7. Kick Joel Pearl in a super chat.
Back on Wednesday. I'll be.
Come on, you got like a minute.
All right, we'll see you there.
Hurry